denier.
that,
I won't
they're
remember.
beating at the gates. They're beating at my DMs. Okay, they are not giving me any peace. Okay, they are
Oh, no.
angry. They are upset. They are
Tracking
man, the slurs that
Shitty
Soy Pill
pants.
specifically has been using, right?
You're
I
on.
can't
Oh my
read them on stream,
Hi.
but let's bring them
Like, hey guys, give me a second here. I'm just setting up.
I know Sondsol and Sondsol, you're the one who initially asked, so if I'm going to open it up, might as well.
Yeah,
bring
give me
you
just.
as well.
I'm just trying to make sure that you have good production quality. You have my pretty face up there. 1 second.
I want to give the mic first to Soy Pill and then to Sondsol to kind of what I'll say this. I feel that this conversation has been quite productive so far. I think it's been quite good so far. I think we've really kind of tackled what I feel are actual issues. But you guys aren't happy with the conversation. I just want to give you a chance to say why and to talk about it with us if you'd like. Because,
Yeah, so
Soy Pill,
in everyone here's defense, I have not watched the whole thing, but I'm frustrated listening to what is ostensibly a conversation coming from centrist, if not Trump supporters, telling the Democrats what they can do to win them over. I'm just like confused as to why I should be taking these people seriously whatsoever, when really all they need to be doing for the rest of their lives is atoning for their really stupid decision, and like figuring out like, hey, how can I make this right? Instead of like, well, this was your fault, and this is what we need to do about it. Like, now, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen the Live and Learn where they roasted you, Tally, and I don't know everything you've said in this conversation, so maybe you have some really good responses, but just the concept of you being on this panel as an expert instead of someone who should be groveling at our feet is very annoying.
I'm a
Sure,
co-host
whatever.
to host the conversation.
Person that we should be listening to in any regard is very frustrating, just in concept. And this is nothing against you in slight. It's just the concept of anyone listening to you, period, as a former
It's
Trump
nothing
voter.
against me. Obviously, this is nothing.
Well, no. I'm sure you'll talk and I'll get more mad, but like this is just like
Here's why, dude. It's because she's correct factually.
About what?
Can I ask a question? Do you guys deny that I'm not disagreeing that Trump voters made a really dumb mistake, but do you guys disagree that so many voters vote based on vibes?
No, I mean Tally raised her hand, but that's what I'm saying is like, why do we have the vibe-based voter up here and like, hey, what should the Democrats do to win your vibes over, when it's like this person doesn't have any like integrity to why they vote based on vibes, so why don't we do something more?
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually moderate here because I could tell already. I want to give it to Dev first, then we'll give it to Stardust, and then
and Dev, for the record, I don't hate you. I don't know. You said that earlier. I don't know you. Maybe I'll hate you once you talk, though.
You maybe you didn't know it was me. You pinged me on Twitter and said something to that effect. So
you probably said something really stupid then.
So when it comes to Trump voters, you know that they don't just disappear, right?
What?
Like they don't disappear when you deperson them, when you deplatform them, when you ban them from various things online. They don't vanish. They still
I didn't say
vote.
we should deperson them. My whole thing is reaching out to Trump supporters. I'm asking why Tali is up here like, well, Democrats, this is what you need to do, and it's like.
Because it is what they need to do.
I was a Democrat.
But
because
is it what
it is what Democrats need to do?
This is the question.
Well, hold on.
Because when
Since
we
I
have,
haven't heard everything.
Wait.
At
Hold
the
on,
beginning
I'm
of
gonna
this,
say really
you guys were
quickly.
talking about how people are getting bullied. You were saying about people are getting bullied.
I'm going to set this up for you. I'm going to set this up for you.
Yeah.
So this is our opinion of what the left should do. There are lots of opinions of liberals and leftists and center left people are talking about right now. And I think we've brought that up. People wondering which direction should, there are the people who say the left, the Democrats have been moving right and trying to appease centrists and Republicans for all these years. When are we going to make a change and just lean into the leftist policies that our base really wants to see? That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is wokeness, and a lot of these culture war issues and a lot of the toxicity among people on the left is pushing people away, people who were formerly allies, people who are now just disaffected, even if they don't turn into Republicans. And maybe we should care about that. That is the opinion.
My question is what switched you from Democrat to Trump? Like, because I haven't heard this. I wanted to.
It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. This was an approximately 4-year process. So I mean, it's summer of 2021 up until November of 2024 when I voted for Trump.
Okay. And I don't know if you could summarize it in like 3 points. What would it be? Big three. Was it wokeness? Was that one of them?
Well, it's funny because we just had we've had like 3 conversations about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the short version, just straight to the point, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues that I see on the left. The first thing that triggered my alert to say, what's going on with my side, was noticing the illiberalism of who I thought to be my liberal and progressive peers. Then I started changing the types of people that I was listening to, the types of reading that I was doing, and changed my mind about a lot of different cultural issues. Yeah, basically more or less that. And I now believe that the left is eating itself. And it makes me very sad because I see a lot of people on the right as super crazy. And I'm not a Republican.
Okay,
and I wish that we had
Trump
better options
in 2024, third term, like based on everything you're seeing happen today?
So this is respectfully, you should just go back and watch the Live and Learn. You should watch my
yes
Not
or
So
no.
Erudite
Like,
conversation.
based on everything that's happening today, yes or no?
Listen to my
That's it.
Pisco
Yes or no?
conversation.
Yes or no?
Well, I had a whole conversation about that I wouldn't vote for him moving forward in the future. It's like I don't see the value in asking me to regret my vote.
No, it's not even about regret. It's like, how can you look at everything going wrong today and say, well, the Democrats, for all the problems they have, which I might agree with.
You can just disagree with what we're saying and think that we're ridiculous, and you can maybe you'll win, maybe you're right, or maybe you'll lose again. Maybe you will continue to lose, and
but
we'll
you just said
find
you wouldn't vote for him again, right? So why are you spending time up here saying like, well, here's what the Democrats need to do, and not coming out of this platform saying, holy shit, I made a huge mistake. I'm voting for a guy who's dismantling our democracy and subverting all these congressional powers and like doing all these inhumane things with all these illegal immigrants in LA, and I think this is insane, and I want to do something against this, guys. Like, is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to be like, well, maybe, this is why I was driven to the Democratic Party,
This is a good idea. Snipill, why don't you just type me out a script? I'll start every conversation that I have with that so that I'm then allowed to speak after that. If you could write something down, that would be helpful for me moving forward.
I think you should be like embarrassed for like making this big of a mistake. And the fact that you're like, well,
okay,
like,
and I think you're proving my point. I think you're proving my point.
Your point being what?
This type of toxicity pushes people away from the left.
That I say like, hey, you should be embarrassed, and I accept that you have now come to the right conclusion that Trump is not a good president.
Jumping into the conversation and saying, why are we listening to somebody like this? Why are we listening to someone who voted Trump give criticism on the left? You mean somebody who spent her entire life on the left?
No, not just someone who. There's a very big difference between saying like, all right, someone who switched
and even vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, hold on.
So curiosity would go really a long way.
Please,
so would charity. No, seriously.
Okay. So first of all, you should go watch all of my videos where I'm incredibly charitable to Trump supporters. First of all, second of all, the reason I'm coming on here mad is not that I'm like, oh, like there's no reason to listen to a Trump supporter, because obviously there is. Like there is an entire swath of people that support this man, no matter how the reasons are. We have to figure out how to switch them over. My question is, why are we having a panel with you coming on and saying, well, here's my advice on what the Democrats need to do, to win me over, when you self-admittedly raise your hand and say, by the way, I'm just a vibes-based voter and I have absolutely no fucking principles.
The reason we're talking to Talia right now is because I asked her to be on, like, the reason anyone is on this panel right now, let's be real.
Let's be real, Vic. You platform a lot of
I was interested in what they had to say.
So
frankly. Okay. But this is a good example. I think this is a good example of what we're talking about, Soy Pill. And this is there is no value to asking her to have this kind of like genuflection before giving an opinion. And I understand you might not agree with her opinion or might not think it's valuable, and that's fair, but other people do. And simply coming on to kind of like scold her, I don't think it's helpful, but I want to get other people in the conversation.
I'll scold you too. I think taking these people more seriously is silly.
Sure.
Go on.
We'll get to it. Well, you'll get more speaking time, but I want to get Sondsol, I want to get Stardust, and I want to get Dev again, and I want to hear their thoughts on this.
I just really quickly want to say, like, I'm sorry, but like so many people vote based on vibes. We can't just like ignore them.
And we should shame them absolutely into making better decisions. Not ignoring them, by the way, but absolutely not platforming them as this like, well, what do you think we should do? It's like, hey, why don't you actually research what you care about and actually vote based on policy instead of being like, well, Trump held up a rainbow flag.
If they voted for vibes.
Yeah, hold on, Soy Pill. I'm so glad you're right. You are so generous. You think that I voted for Trump.
But if you voted for vibes, if you voted for fucking vibes, if you voted for vibes, then why the wouldn't you
bad
not vote
faith.
for someone who is more like Soy Pill than someone who is more like Nancy Pelosi? Like, if you're voting for vibes, then the vibes that Soy Pill is giving is closer to the Trumpian stuff than the Nancy Pelosi. No, not to offend you, but it's more aggressive. It's showing strength. It's showing, like, I
Yeah,
actually
I was
believe in
never-
something. I'm not entirely
So,
sure.
Sondsol, interestingly, it feels like
kidding me?
it feels like there are a lot of people on the left who are sincerely just incurious.
I'm
Because
sorry,
Sondsol, you said that
I literally can't understand a word you're saying. I'm trying. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say shut up,
Sorry.
but yeah.
you're just like, it's just incurious. I didn't vote for Trump because I like his aggressive bullying demeanor. I've specifically said over and over again, and this is like people who are claiming to have watched what I said, that I have always been averse to Trump, that I was holding my nose to vote for Trump, that I was hoping that it would have been Nikki Haley, that I wish we could have gone back in time to 2016 and it would have been John Kasich, okay? That's how I was feeling in 2024, is that I really wanted to vote against the left, and guess what? It happened to be Trump. And even when Trump became the nominee, I still wasn't fully sold that I was going to vote for him. So no, it's not the Trump personality that won me over, certainly.
What's your number one Trump policy?
Respectfully, seriously, I mean this respectfully.
This is a super easy question. If you voted for it,
if you want to bring me on your show, so you can.
No, I don't want to
this
bring you
whole
on my
thing, that's
show.
fine.
I'm
That's
only here
not
because you're here to
great,
be
and
like,
that's
you
not
should
what
go
this
away.
conversation.
Here,
Like,
I'll
it's
answer
just-
it. Deport
it's
the
a fucking
illegals.
joke.
Get them the
Yeah,
fuck
okay.
up. Throw them over the border.
There you go. Look,
launch them over
Dev,
the wall with a
if that's
trebuchet.
if that's your real position, that's like, okay, that's what he promised. And I can't be like, well, you were stupid for doing this. It's the people that come out and be like, well, I thought he was going to do all this stuff. And I just can't believe he's going in and deporting people from their workplaces. And when he was holding up signs that said mass deportation. But yeah, if that was your policy, then it's hard for me to be like, well, you were duped or something, or I feel sorry for you for being deceived. Like, no, that's what he said and you wanted that. That's why I'm asking, is that your number one policy? If that's Dev's, like, as much as I say you for voting for that, it's still like, well, at least you understood what you were doing.
Dev didn't vote for Trump. Again, you just like came in hot and made all these assumptions that at least half of this panel must have voted for
Dev
Trump
gave
because
a
there was
policy.
criticism
No, I know
of the
that
left
Star
taking
didn't.
place.
I don't know what Dev did. I know that you did. You're the only person I know who voted for Trump.
I did
That
not
says
vote
a
for
lot
Trump.
more about
I
you.
did not-
If I'm the
Hold
only
on.
person
Just
that
to be
you know
clear-
who voted for Trump, that says
No, on
a
this
lot of
panel,
bad things.
idiot. I know a lot of Trump
hold on.
voters.
So just to be clear, I did not vote for Trump. In fact, I made, I think, a 3-hour or 4-hour video on why Trump was absolutely terrible.
Awesome. Base.
So no, I am in no way a Trump supporter. Like even then, like I actually do. Okay, joking aside, I would like to see the illegals sent home. I don't like how Trump is
Every
doing
single
it. I don't like how Trump's doing it.
Every
But
single one?
sure, if possible. Like I don't like how he's doing it.
Why don't you like how he's doing
Hold
it?
on. Soy. Hold on. Just a housekeeping thing. Soy, you gotta let people finish their thought.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
I'm on
It's getting
caffeine.
really
People have
frustrating.
had me riled up, but go on. Sorry.
Dev,
Wouldn't it
please.
be economically devastating, like to send every single illegal home?
Okay,
like,
we're not in the immigration debate. We can have another day, right?
Well,
But
it would be, but I do have a reason for it, but it's probably outside the scope of this conversation. But yeah, it's not based on economics. It's not based on racism. I genuinely think that you cannot have a functioning sovereign country if you don't control who comes in and who comes out legally. And my reasoning for this goes all the way back to the Treaty of Westphalia in the 1600s.
But
Okay.
you can make policies for stronger borders. Like you can be pro stronger borders without sending every illegal home to the
red flag on the play.
your own
We're not
economy.
doing an immigration debate today. So Dev, though, you mentioned something that I think
I think Dev probably agrees with that, Stardust, if he really laid out his full.
He might. But again, we're not here to debate immigration. Dev, you said something that I think was interesting, and I wonder if you'd elaborate on that.
Well,
when Soy
I can, but Sondsol is literally falling asleep. Shouldn't he have a shot first?
He should have a shot first, but Stardust is going to disrespect him and talk all over him. That's what Stardust does. To Sondsol specifically only. I've never seen Stardust act like that to anyone but Sondsol.
If you have something that's still on this train of thought, I have a different train of thought to go down, so I'll let you guys finish this one. I'll allow it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I
But Dev,
apologize,
you
Sondsol.
mentioned. Well, you mentioned that Tali was just correct in her assertion here. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, part of that was just me memeing, to be honest.
Fair enough.
However, like there is some truth there for sure. Like I think voting for Trump in 2024, especially if you are knowledgeable about his 2020 false elector plot, is completely unconscionable. Like, I would vote for a bag of potatoes over
Dev,
Trump.
why
in
are you
2024.
shaming Trump supporters right now, dude? You know this is why Trump won, right?
Yes, but I'll still talk to them about it. However, voting for Trump in 2016, I think, is actually a lot more reasonable because there's a different political situation in 2016 versus 2024, and Trump is not the person that he was back then. So I think if someone came to me and said, I voted for Trump in 2016, that's a much more reasonable take, in my opinion, than I voted for Trump in 2024.
I don't disagree with you.
Trump got more votes in 2024 than in 2016, correct?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so this just goes back to what I was saying before, which is like people don't need to like this information, but the truth is there are more people motivated to either vote for Trump or to vote against the left now than there were then. This is a growing problem.
Yeah.
The Democrats don't have to choose to focus on it. But it exists.
So here's the thing, right? Like if I was going to sit down and talk to somebody who voted for Trump and then they said, you know what, I don't regret it. Or if they said, you know what, I do actually kind of regret it. And they gave me reasons as to why for both of these things. I don't think I would attach all that much judgment to it necessarily, because what does that actually get me? Like what it seems like, Soy Pill, is that you're just looking to be virtue signaled to. You want somebody to express their remorse at having done a thing that you and I both agree is not a very good thing. And whether they regret it or not, or whether they virtue signal at you or not, doesn't actually matter, because they can just lie to you. Like Tally, if Tally wants to, she can right now completely kneel at your feet and apologize and not mean a single bit of it.
I don't care about people groveling towards me. That means very little, although it is funny. What I care about is that the person who we're listening to as to what should we do next is a person who is self-admittedly is going to vote based on vibes. You raised your hand when someone mentioned that. And someone who has done the dumbest thing ever, which is vote for Trump after his first term, after the elector scheme. And now seeing everything that's happening now, we're going to look at that and say like, hey, this is all terrible and I'm partly to blame because I voted for him. But you know what? Let's take me as the authority, and I'm going to speak as like an authority here, and not like, guys, I'm really sorry about this, but like, hey, this is why I did this. I'm like, this is how we can correct it, and then this is how I was shifted back this way. Like, other than that, it's like it's absolutely ridiculous that like anyone should be listening.
Hold on. So okay, I completely agree with everything you just said. Now, do you want Tally to vote for the left or the right in 2026 and 2028?
Well, obviously, I think she should vote for the left.
Yes. So perhaps listening to her a little bit and having a little bit of charitability is probably a good thing.
Why? She's doing everything I wanted to do. Now she can just stop talking.
Okay.
So now, if I were in her position, now I'd vote for the right out of spite. Because
and that would be my point, is like, if someone's going to switch votes because some guy came in and yelled at them, they're and we shouldn't take them seriously. And it's like, oh no, we've scolded them too long. Oh, is that your wife? Hi.
It is my wife, and she voted Trump too, guys. Don't cancel her.
Oh my God, the lesbians are voting Trump, guys. We got rid of lesbians now, I guess. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the interracial lesbians voting Trump. Everything's really guys, maybe you should take a look at what's going on the left.
Yeah, that you guys are like too stupid to understand that Obergefell is being considered to be repealed. Like, do you ever worry about that?
You can.
I do want to give Sondsol a chance at some point.
Right? Yeah, just real quick, Soypill. Yeah. This is.
And Sondsol, accept the request that I just sent you. Just accept it.
Just real quick. You can call them, and maybe they even are, but they still have votes, and it doesn't go away.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing, Dev, listen to me. If I'm just saying go away, that's useless, right? But if I'm saying, hey, the people that you voted for are going to try to get your marriage license revoked, and you should understand that, and they still are going to vote for Trump, then they're a lost cause, and they need to disappear, and don't platform them because they're useless. Okay. Now, if you're going to say, whoops, I accidentally voted for the people that are going to try to overturn Obergefell, who have ostensibly said, hey, we're giving this to the Supreme Court. It's already coming out of Iowa. I really don't like the fact that my marriage license is going to be revoked, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to go tell all my gays about it. Cool. Awesome. Let's bring them up here and spread the word about how you f***ed up. Otherwise, go the f*** away.
Here's a problem.
And this is what I mean about you wanting to be virtue signaled too, because that's all virtue signaling.
That's not virtue signaling. That's spreading message about a real policy that's going to happen based on the vote.
Oh my God.
Okay. Hold on. I got to get something out, and then we're going to go to Sondsol. I'm just going to say this, and then we're going to go directly to Sondsol. I want to make sure, right? if we want to win people back, we have to talk to the people that we lost. Tali is one of those people that we lost.
No, actually,
You may not
Tali
agree with
said
that.
she would vote for a Democrat next, so we don't have to talk to her anymore.
Sondsol, go
Listen,
ahead, please.
So, like, I want to say, like, up front, the questions I was going to ask here, my style is a little less aggressive than Soy Pills, but his sentiment is the same. I share the same sentiment. Here's my question. You talked a lot about at the beginning, this is what triggered me, about how, people get bullied. And, I know it's not like I get bullied and therefore I have to become a Nazi. You guys referenced that. But, like, what do you think is the typical reason why people voted for Trump? Do you think that it is typical for people to be bullied into voting for Trump? Or do you think that it is typical for someone to vote for Trump for another reason?
Which year are you talking about?
I assumed that you guys were talking about 2024 when you guys were talking about this. 2016, I feel like probably didn't have the same vibes to it.
I think the bullying was more of a factor in 2016 than 2024. I think in 2024, if unaligned people started shifting rightward, it's because they ended up falling for the media line that there was lawfare happening against Trump. And that's why I believe that Biden should have been a lot stronger on going after Trump after 2020, legally.
So if that's the case, then why did we spend so much time on how mean the left is, and how, if it was more about like the ineffectual nature of the Democrats, or what they should have done, or what they did do or didn't do, then why did we spend so much time about how mean the left is?
I disagree slightly with Dev's take here. I think that in 2024, I think it was still a fact. I think it was a significant factor. I won't say it's a main factor. I wouldn't say most MAGA people voted this way because of this. But there is quite a bit of people that I know who either stayed home or voted for Trump as a protest vote because of what they saw as the excesses of the left, of how they were treated personally by people on the left. Because of course, again, I don't understand how people don't understand this.
No, because I was
we
as
understand
well
this
as
way.
anyone.
We
I
understand
have
this.
argued
Let me
that
finish.
we should be.
If people are shitty to you, if people continually,
no one
shit
argues
you,
against that,
you're gonna
right?
vote against them.
But what we're talking about, what is the typical reason? Why are we spending so much time on that when the reasons that people are voting for fucking Trump is because
fixable
it's for
problem in a way that other issues are not. This is a fixable problem in a way that other issues are not.
Messaging on the economy isn't fixable.
Okay. Not when we have no political power. Hold on. Not when we have no political power. The Democrats don't own the House. They don't own the Senate. They don't own the White House. So what we can influence is the people who are the influencers and people on the left and the far left. We can excise them.
Hold on, but you're now talking in the present. You're now talking in the present tense, Wick. When you guys were at that time talking about the 2024 election and the 2020 election. You can't talk about, well, we don't have power now. We did then. That's not what the issue is, right?
Sure.
I can't.
So I have an answer.
Sondsol.
I have an answer
today because I can. Going forward, what should we do?
I know. I don't disagree. I just want to say I don't disagree, and you guys all know, right? Like, I don't like it when the left is like sitting there and shitting down the throat of people who might very well vote for us, right? Like, I'm on that train too, all right? I'm a little bit of a soy liberal, not leftist, all right? But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here at the moment that we're in right now and say, oh, well, it's because of the Democrats being too mean. Or I'm going to sit here, I'm going to be really mad about what Destiny said about the flood victims. It's not that I think that we need more of that, like you were saying, Wick. No, I don't think that, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think that I've seen anybody say like, oh, we specifically need to make more fun of dead white babies. There might be a couple of like two Twitter posts out there, but by and large, it's why the do I give a what Destiny said here when I see, Studio Ghibli, anime or, AI generated abuelas getting arrested by ICE people and they're all sitting there jerking off. What I was sent something to bring up for this. It was right here. Breaking. ICE will be removing Kilmar Abrego Garcia to a third-party country after an activist judge tries to put him on the streets of America. DHS promised he'll never be free in America again, so he's going to end up in a South Sudanese prison or somewhere similar. Crying, laughing emoji. He didn't want to be in El Salvador, so maybe he'll enjoy South Sudan. This is like what they're laughing about.
That's
right?
why I voted for the Dem in 2028 was that post, actually, because they bullied my people.
Hold on. This behavior is why I am bullish on the left winning in 2026 and 2028. I think that this is...
But people don't care about... People did not vote for the Republicans when they did that.
Oh my God.
They didn't... So it's not that people are voting for them for that. I don't think that that's the reason. But I don't...
Against them in 2020. They voted against them in 2022. The reason
not because of that
was because we pushed out Biden, cooed him basically, and also decided to run Kamala. It was such a wucky situation that I don't think we could do, like this relevancy, a recency bias, I should say, this recency bias that you guys have, that they won once out of 5 elections, they won once, and that's then we should do everything they do. Their behavior that they're exuding and exhibiting is going to be the reason they lose in 2026.
It wasn't the reason they lost in 2020, though.
Behavior.
So why should we emulate that behavior?
You think? Well, no. Wick, what the f*** are you talking? You think that Biden
no one's saying
lost
to emulate the behavior. They're saying that I don't care if someone does it.
Wait, San, do you think that Kamala lost because of her behavior? Not because of inflation, not because of
3 months to run?
Yeah, but because of behavior, you're like, well, Trump's going to lose because of his behavior. No, Trump's going to lose if people feel the economy's bad enough. People are disgusted by his ICE policies. People don't like the fact that tariffs are going to tank the economy into a recession. That's why people will vote. They're not going to vote because Trump is mean.
They will vote.
No, they will not vote against him because Trump is mean. That is not the delimiting line.
Hold on.
That is not why people vote against
how
someone.
they are treated. And if they are treated
physically because of policy, not because he's mean.
How is this so hard to grasp?
Being mean on Twitter is not why people are going to vote against Trump, dude.
Capability of grasping the situation.
Just a second ago,
people vote on vibes, and most people, vote on vibes.
I asked you if it was
why not
typical.
Make vibes good?
I asked you if it was typical for people to be bullied into voting for Trump, and you said no. And now you're saying that is the case. So which is it, Wick? Is the left, are Democrats just so toxic and so vile that we bully everyone into voting? Oh no, I'm so put down and about. I don't think that we should be doing that, but I'm not going to cry if I see someone make an edgy joke. That's all I'm saying. And you're saying here that we have to all be saints and that we all have to rise above, when obviously that's not the case, because they voted for them despite
why do we
this
have to be
thing.
better than them?
Okay.
They
win a majority of vote doing that.
Why
Clearly,
would they care
we can
if
do
you
it too.
One election cycle. Oh my God!
They won 2 election cycles.
They won 2 of them
because of this. They lost in 2020 because of this.
They were doing that.
They won 2022.
They were doing that, Wick, for 5 years, and Tolly voted for them. So clearly, it's not a delimiting issue that's going to completely push people away. You know.
If I can, I do think that the vibes-based voting, kind of conversation, I think is more relevant to specifically 2016 voters. But I would agree.
I agree.
I would agree that regarding making dark jokes, I don't think any joke should be off topic. I just don't. I think if people, I understand Wick, your concerns about you're gonna isolate people if you are if you're if you're making jokes like that, but I do think the cruelty, the cruel jokes have already been kind of in circulation. I don't think jokes should be off, off
I don't think anyone should be canceled.
Wait,
I think there's a difference between making jokes about things and actually cutting off people completely, right? So that's my main point, is I don't think we should be cutting off people completely necessarily for their political views. I think we should be engaging with people who have different views than us, but that's very different than police people for making dark jokes. So.
Okay, I want to raise some super chats and make some money before I let anyone else in, because money is more important than all of you.
But before you're reading, so I wanted to reply to something that Sondsol said 20 minutes ago.
Okay, so do that, and then we're going to get to my money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I mostly agree with you, Sondsol. However, I want to point out that the title of the stream is, it's not should we be mean to people and then therefore that pushes them away, or what does it do to them? The title of the stream is, Are Democrats Responsible for the Rise of MAGA? I think in 2016, the vibe conversation makes a lot of sense, because we didn't have COVID yet, we didn't have lockdowns yet, we didn't have the crazy radicalization yet. In 2016, you're mean to somebody online, they go the other way. Like I said, we saw it with Sargon, we saw it with other people. I think that was definitely a factor. In 2024, like you said, Stardust, that wasn't a factor anymore, I don't think. However, I still think that Democrats are responsible for the rise of MAGA in a large part, because from 2020 to 2024, Democrats pretended like MAGA was vanquished, like they were gone, like it was over, and then they came back and they reconquered the kingdom. I cannot overstate this. The Democrats royally f***ed up by not going after Trump 10 times harder.
I agree.
And if we want to hold the Democrats responsible, that's how we hold them responsible. Like, if you win in 2028, don't take your eye off the ball. Like, you must rip MAGA out of your country.
We have
root
so
and stem.
much more power now. If the Democrats get into the presidency, there is so much power that they have at their disposal right now. I wholeheartedly agree.
hate this.
Now
I
you
hate
can
this.
say that you hate this, but I think that the Democrats in 28 should run on a platform of cutting the executive's power in good faith. But first, we should pack the court, because this shit's crazy. We should absolutely annihilate all of MAGA's possibility of ever gaining power ever again. We should throw all the people who are involved in all of the money grubbing weird bullshit that they're doing with the taxes, buying off and selling at certain points, and all the people involved in ICE straight to alligator Alcatraz. After we put them there, and
Christ.
then we can pass a couple of constitutional
is this the woke?
amendments.
Concentration camps are bad unless we use them on Republicans. That's
Well,
what leftists to me.
Actually, no.
Radicalization
Concentration
at work
camps
right
were
here.
bad until they were made part of the conversation. And now, if you're going to throw our people in concentration camps,
Okay. Just to be clear, I'm not that left. I'm not.
Let's
I'm
read
not
some
doing
super
that.
I'm a liberal.
Like,
okay, brother? I'm angry.
I'm just saying.
I'll be right back.
This is what like.
Just real quick. There's someone in the chat. There's people in your chat, Wick, who are saying, "LOL, Dev thinks that the Democrats aren't using power." Trump should have been fed into a wood chipper at this point.
Jesus Christ, my monetization.
Why?
Gang,
Listen.
Monetization.
Why did Biden wait 2 years to bring charges against Trump when all the evidence was there about the false elector scheme? What the maybe he was just like old and completely brain. He just like sleptwalked through 4 years. Holy shit! Like, the only way that America saves itself right now is if MAGA is utterly and completely destroyed. Right? Like, every single person who's complicit with this administration needs to basically be thrown in jail.
No,
like, it's fucking insane right now.
We need to like also kind of mimic the right's strategies when it comes to grouping in undesirable groups into the right, because I hate all these far leftists and being branded as liberals. I think we need to start branding all of these like super far right people
like MAGA soy pill,
as Republicans, and start evening out the playing field. Right now, again, I'm not saying don't disconnect. I agree with the idea of like don't disconnect from people, right? Don't isolate people. But yeah, I do think there's a difference between like not isolating people and like letting people get away with dirty tactics and not being dirty yourself. I think we do need to get a little bit dirty. So
you all are wrong and dumb, but let me read these super chats. Okay, $5 from Audacity to say soy never got scolded as a child, and it shows. $5 more from Audacity to say, hey Star, here's the non-critical thinker you were talking about, smiley face. $10 from Alexander Rin to say, who is this new idiot that helped Democrats lose the last election and will lose them the next one? He is a defining characteristic of why people hate Democrats. That's to you, Soaphill. Greg Yo for $5. If someone is willing to vote for their exact opposite of their values because leftists were mean to them, that's a mindset I just can't understand. Thank you for the $5. $20 from Festiva to say, let me help, Soy. Just because guy who I voted for was not as good as I hoped does not mean your person you wanted on your side would not be worse. And you need to prove why you would be way better an option than what we have. 1
Very
month
insightful,
membership
thank
from
you.
Adam Gadbaugh. Soy Pill's opening statement is why Dems will lose. $10 from Audacity to say, hey, behold the flavor of purity style. No one notices. LMAO. Ah ha ha ha. Holy shit. $2 from the Danielle to say, Soy Pill and Tolly, you guys should kiss and make up. I think Tolly's wife might have an issue with
A little
that,
bit inappropriate from that
I
channel.
will
Yeah.
never date a Jewish woman after knowing my mom. Okay, so it's never happening.
$10. $10
That
from
doesn't
Lawson
surprise
Harrison.
me. There's got to be some psychological things at play here.
Mommy issues. Okay, we'll explore that on another topic, right? $10 from Lawson Harrison to say, what would we guess is a percentage of Vibe voters if compared from right to left? I don't know off the top of my head. I just say most people vote on Vibes, just in general. Like most people are voting on Vibes. $5 from Tessicle Johnson to say, Soy came on specifically to derail the entire panel. What a waste of time. $10 from Audacity to say, I don't regret voting for Trump because now I get epic crash outs on Wick TV, which is live Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and YouTube. $5 from Greg Gio to say, if Trump values are your values, fine. But voting against your own beliefs out of spite is not a respectable position. It's short-sighted. $5 from Smokey D. Bandit to say, my 6-year-old granddaughter has better critical thinking skills than Soy Pill. Artemis Fowl, 7 months membership.
I'm making you lots of money. You should have me on more.
True.
Wick.
I'm having you on
Also,
next
these
week.
people have a lot of heat for Soy Pill. I literally talked about putting people in concentration
let you know,
camps,
and
and they're
we're
not
gonna
giving
get
you any
Richie,
money
don't
for this
worry.
shit.
No,
What the
sure.
fuck?
To be clear, Sans, every single person right now, they're all making me vote for Kamala harder right now. Every single one, because they're being mean to me. They're being mean to me. And I have no principles, and I'm vibe-based, and I don't like when people are mean to me. So
I might listen. I'm a
It's
liberal. I
just,
might
it's
vote for
just
fucking
so
Zohran
bad
Mamdani
faith.
at this point.
It's actually literally so bad faith. And I don't think Wick is helping in the way that he describes it either, because I don't actually think for most people it's that simple. So, Sondsol, you said,
okay, you can take that, but I'm going to make a little money. I'm going to keep reading my super chats because we're not done, and then we'll get
sure,
to it.
and then
I
I'll
promise.
pick up after.
$2, or I'm sorry, I missed this. Artemis Fowl, members for 7 months, says, I am confident after seeing this stream. $2 from Hunter Young to say, would Biden have won if not for COVID? Yes or no? I think he would, yeah. Smokey D. Bandit for $2. Soy is Trump's biggest propagandist. $10 from Audacity to say, I know he's being hyperbolic or whatever, but is Dev's magic number really 10 times harder? Seems like a gambit. Every time they fail, he gets stronger. And then $20 from Artemis Fowl to say the left has fundamentally learned nothing and doesn't understand why they lost if they think the bullying is why Trump won the popular vote. Also listen to Dev. 10 years of Trump is Giga Hitler. Stop.
Wait, to be fair, the only person who said that, Tolly said he got the most votes because of the left and implied it was like bullying essentially and not any of the policies that were put on the table.
Yeah.
So
That's
and finally,
why I came in.
Yeah, and finally, from Alexander Rin, who couldn't unfortunately afford to, the super chats ain't going through, but he's giving me so much money, so I'm just going to read what he DM'd me. He says, Soy's belief that shaming and bullying works is contrary to everything Democrats supposedly believe.
That's not even
Shame
what I
breeds
believe
resentment,
yet, so.
Bullying breeds defiance and spite. He and his methods are 100% the reason so many normal people won't vote for
What the does that person think that they're talking about? The right
can I
uses
make a clarifying
shame.
statement,
What do you
actually?
think when they talk about like the
quick.
cuckoldry of the white man and how the white man is getting outbred and how like we bring like it's like what the okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wick, was that Artemis?
The one who just DM'd me? No.
Yeah.
That was Alexander Rin.
Why are we the only ones that have to introspect when we lose? Why does everyone else get to just like go on doing the same thing?
Yeah.
No.
Can I respond to the comment?
Sondsol, I can actually tell you this. So everyone should introspect.
Yeah.
But left-leaning people are more likely to do it than right-leaning people. Everyone should, but that's just kind of the reality is that only some people do.
I know, but I feel like we're the only ones that are like being held like responsible to like it's not just the fact that like we do it because obviously we do because we're smarter, but it's the fact that people will sit there and castigate and sit there and say how we need to do things. It's like you at that point.
Yeah, if anything, they're scolding us. Like, you guys are too mean, and that's why I'm not voting. And let me address this, Wick. I'm not saying.
guys
Wait. Can I please clarify? I want to clarify.
Yeah,
I've not talked in a while. Let me clarify this, Tolly, please.
Hold on, let Tolly, let Soy Pill go, and then I'll let Tolly respond. So Soy Pill.
If everyone goes to the
I
Soy
need to tack on
Pill
something.
channel and they check out my video on talking to Trump supporters, you'll see that I am very charitable and understand that there's value in understanding why people voted for this guy. Clearly, he won the majority vote. My problem is not understanding why people vote based on vibes, reaching out to these people and trying to change their minds. That's like literally my whole thing. My problem is listening to people who are so stupid as to vote for Trump as to what the Democrats should do as some sort of like voice of authority. What you should be doing is saying I'm sorry and disappearing, because you have nothing to offer here. Your conversation here is, oh, I voted based on vibes. If a pigeon shits on me tomorrow and I find out it was a Democrat, I'm going to vote for Trump again. So go the fuck away. No one cares.
Okay, this is what I want to say.
I care.
This is
I'm pretty
very
hyperbolic.
this is very helpful. You're doing
Yeah.
great work for the left.
I'm pretty hyperbolic.
I'm waiting, Tolly, for you to say anything substantive, by the way.
Okay,
I'm supposed to, like, me and Tally are supposed to talk tomorrow. Hopefully that still happens. I'm pretty hyperbolic. I'll say some pretty like aggressive stuff. I said something about concentration camps a second ago. I don't actually want to throw people in concentration camps. Here's the thing,
Left
though.
lying again. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. When you want to say that it's like this is why the left is losing or stuff like that, it feels. If like, as much as people want to say that the right has been like, we're talking down to them and shit, like, you can say that, but like, we're literally seeing like people lie to us, sometimes mathematically provably lie to us, and then we're being told that like it's our fault that that's happening. That didn't happen under the Biden administration like that. Okay, like, that's crazy. So like, the ultimate thing that I'm trying to say here is, like, I understand that there are reasons why people might vote for Trump. I understand that there are, vibe-based reasons, there are policy-based reasons, and there are like conversations to have there. I don't know what use there is talking about the Democrats' behavior when I look at the Republicans' behavior, and that's what got them elected.
Yeah, exactly. No, Sans, you're hitting it perfectly. Like, Democrats have to be perfect. If we're even slightly mean, like, we lose the votes and we're going to get scolded for it for 4 years. But Donald Trump can come, do the most horrendous policies, to do awful, terrible things to like all these like demographics of people, repeal Roe v. Wade. And it's like, well, we expect him to be mean. And just so you know, like, whoever the last person who was mean to me the second I get into the voting booth was, I'm going to vote against that. Okay, cool. So I know that you have no principles or no values. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear what your like opinions or policy or anything is. It's useless.
Mean than win. I get it. Soy Pill. You'd rather
no. It doesn't matter if you're mean. Donald Trump is mean as he wins. The left has to be held to this ridiculous standard.
That is the result of your ways of thinking. Is like, well, nothing we do matters. So and I like being mean.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing we do matters.
No, Wick, I just want to just say this really quick. Nobody here is saying that we ought to be mean, that we ought to make fun of the dead little girls, that we ought to do this or that. It's just like, holy shit, why the are you like sitting there focusing on that when it's such a like, I'm sorry,
because it's the reason we're losing. It's one of the primary factors of why we keep losing.
I disagree. I disagree. That's the reason that we're fucking losing. Are you fucking kidding me? Every single time that there's a trans girl that kills herself on Twitter, there's a million people underneath that post posting the soy jack of a like trans person.
Doesn't it give you
for some reason they still want the fucking vote? For some reason they still want the vote. For some reason when people poll, when people are polled, they say, hey, the economy, the inflation was the primary reason why I voted for Trump this time instead of Kamala. But for some reason I have to sit here and have another liberal tell me that I have to be nicer when I say Republicans, these who are voting for people who are literally hunting people like rats and jerking off with sandpaper to it.
About being soy or edgy or anything. I want to win.
I don't care if people are. I'm not going to fight them when they are. That's all I'm saying.
Stardust gets to go. Stardust gets to go.
I need to interject here. Okay. So I do think I agree with so my main thing is when I'm talking about like how we interact with like MAGA people and right wingers, right? My specific thing is like probably we should be willing to talk to them. We shouldn't be cutting them off out of our families. That's not a nice thing to do. We shouldn't be opposed to talking with people. But I don't know that. I do think that the purity spiral of the far left, right? Since we have been grouped with the far left, the purity spiral that they do obviously affects us. But if you were to ask me again, like I said at the beginning of this panel, I don't think it's entirely the Democrats' fault. In fact, I think a lot of it boils down to specific movements within within the MAGA movement, and I think those movements you can see on the anti-intellectual left as well. And we need to actually combat those very aggressively. I think you can be aggressive as a liberal and be aggressive in your policies and aggressive in taking down the MAGA movement while still not cutting off people and still not I don't know how many times Tolly would have to apologize to make Soy Pill satisfied, right?
I don't need any amount of apologies. That's again, you're not listening if that's what you think you're saying. I'm not trying to be mean here. The point is that she has nothing to offer us right now. Not that she needs to apologize.
Shut up. I'm not finished. Okay. So anyways, so yes, like if we're going to actually tackle like things that have directly led to this kind of like weird movement crisis, right? We have like again the anti-intellectualism of both the far left and the far right, and which has now like it's holding hostage the Republican Party, anti-establishment, anti-interventionism, right? And a lot of these things are things that you see again in the left and in the right, and those are movements specifically that we need to like actually take down very, very aggressively. And we need to take down some of these policies that Trump is implementing and really combat why those things are really bad very aggressively. So yeah, my main advocacy here is like, I don't think we should be cutting people off or saying we can't work with them because they don't use the same exact verbiage as us.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
For the past 10 years.
Hold on. I do want to give a lot of people are talking shit on Tally. I want to give Tally a chance to respond. Tally, you have the chance to respond.
Okay. Maybe someone. Well, okay. I'm gonna preface this a little bit, and then maybe I'll get down into some criticisms that I have. But I'm not looking to be a political thought leader. The reason that all I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks is my vote for Trump is because I came on as a co-panelist to WIC TV when weeks went by chatting about different cultural topics when I mentioned that I voted for Trump, and people in the chat were shocked. They were surprised to hear that, okay? And they wanted to hear about the thought process and what happened on my ideological journey, for lack of better words, from the left to the right. Then we decided to go do it on Lib and Learn instead because Econo Boy was asked to join in on the conversation. And then that blew up and it turns into, why should we be listening to this disaffected liberal who this horrible person who voted for Trump, as some political thought leader? I'm not trying to be a political thought leader. I comment on politics and on culture and things that I'm interested in. And by the way, WIC chose the title and the topic for today's conversation, okay? So this is not something that I spend all of my time talking about or thinking about. I feel like people are really in bad faith. I raised my hand to vibes, and again, it's because at this point it's almost a joke. I'm acknowledging, yes, that I voted based on vibes. When I say vibes, no, I do not mean whether I had breakfast in the morning or which side of the pillow was facing up when I woke up. I'm talking about cultural things, okay? I've talked about wokeness and this stuff, but there are lots of people, that's what I mean by vibes. They're voting based on the way that the culture feels, that the way that their side feels, that the other side feels. And whether people like it or not, there are a lot of people who are having similar reactions.
I understand that, Tolly. That's why I asked you what your number one policy was, and you were like, "Oh, this is why the left lost," and you won't answer the question. But Dev gave an answer.
No, I didn't say you asking me what my number one policy was is why the left lost. Okay.
Well, can you just answer it?
I'm saying it's no. Again, you can go watch the other conversation. This is not
why
what
is
this
so hard?
conversation
It should take
is
10
about.
seconds.
Listen,
because if you had listened to any of the conversations, I was voting against the left. I was not voting for Donald Trump. I was voting against the left. I live in a blue state. It really is like the fact that this
that's all you had to say. There you go. Was that so hard? I was voting against the left. Like that's all you had to say.
Yes,
So
yes, it is so hard because I've talked about this so goddamn much, and for you to have this much of an opinion, you would think that you would have listened to anything that I have said before. Okay.
Well, I didn't listen because you had nothing substantive to say, and you just pointed out again that you don't have anything substantive to say because your view is the woke culture is so much worse. By the way, woke culture, part of woke culture and everything that people hate about it is, oh, people police their own too much, and which is what you're asking us to do is, hey, tell everyone to stop being mean. Don't use mean words against the Trump voters and all that. But by the way, after he tries to coup the government, I'll vote for the right because, well, the left is really woke and weird, and I think the trans stuff goes too far. It's ridiculous.
There are two different See, and this is the thing too. It's like, oh yeah, you just hate trans people. Like that's going to be your line. Oh, you're just racist. You're just a bigot. You just
don't
hate trans
strawman me.
people.
Don't strawman me, or I'm going to vote for the left. Do not strawman me. I said
Really
the trans stuff went
just
too
to
far, which
say
is what
where
you
I'm
said in our
coming
debate.
from. Okay, really
Hold
quick.
on,
This is why.
Sondsol, shut up. Sondsol, shut up.
Oh my
We're
God.
having a back and forth. Okay, Tali, finish your thought.
I thought that she was done. So
No, Sondsol, she gets gotten interrupted, and that's why Dev's trying to get her in there.
Well, I don't honestly. It's like what Soypil pauses, doesn't listen to anyone else speaking because he's talking to his stream to then jump in and interrupt and derail the conversation.
No, I
What
can
is
hear
the point
two
of this
people at
even?
once. I
Again,
understand.
this is
Now
a
I'm waiting for you to say
conversation. This
anything
conversation was
substantive.
supposed to- Okay. No, you're right. I have nothing substantive to say. No one should listen to me. Guess what? I'm not sure if you know this or not. No one is being forced to be here. Okay. There are people who are interested in the thought process who have similar critiques of the left. Okay.
Which
And that's
chat?
why
Give
they're
me
here
Tali's
listening to this
best
conversation
recommendation.
and
I want to hear it.
participating.
Okay, Dev, please. Uh-oh.
So I do have a good faith question for you, okay? Yeah. If you were just voting against the left and not for the right, why didn't you vote third party?
I mean, I wasn't going to vote for Jill Stein, first of all. Okay. Why
not?
I don't align with it. Well, number one, her entire platform was just being an anti-Zionist. Okay, so that's not a platform that I'm going to get behind. And because frankly, I wanted to accurately signify my move, which was directionally to the right. My ideological shift since 2021, when this started for me, has been to the right. Now that puts me firmly in the center. Depending on who I'm talking to, people say I'm either center left or center right, but I'm not all the way on the right. I am not a Republican, but my views have moved in the direction of the right. And yeah, I don't know. Like again, Jill Stein.
So you've moved right, but you're going to vote left in the next election after you've moved right.
So I didn't say I was going to vote left in the next election. I said I would not vote for Trump again, which, by the way, doesn't matter because Trump is not going to be running again.
Well, and, you should listen to what he's saying and what he said before the election about violating the 22nd Amendment and running for a third term. But maybe that didn't matter to you because left was mean. Sorry.
So
Tali, again, it's like it is such a straw man. Oh, because the left was me and you just change your entire worldview. That's not what happens, people. And this is again why I say I don't actually appreciate the way that Wick is describing it. I doubt that he's even giving his uncle a fair shake when he describes his uncle's transformation. And you're not going to like the answer to this because again, you think that anyone who's anti-woke is just a racist and a bigot and all of this stuff.
I don't think that. Don't straw man me, please.
It's not just.
I'm very anti-woke, actually. You can watch a couple of my videos on the soypillchannel.com.
You're super anti-woke. It's not just, people on the left are interpersonally mean to me. It's also what the left is. So it's not just, I'm a white guy and people, keep calling me racist. It's also a dogma of saying that white people are inherently evil, inherently racist, have to start out
who's saying this that made you vote for the right?
For their sins. Who's saying this?
Yeah, who's saying? I'm not saying no one says this, by the way. Because, by the way, I went to a very liberal college in 2016, so I'm very aware. But I also didn't drop all of my policies and vote for the right. So I'm just curious, who is saying this? That you're like, oh well, if I vote for the left, this will become more prominent, and they'll say that white people are inherently evil, and this is indicative of future things to come. So I got to vote for the guy who's threatening to run for a third term and is going to overturn my gay marriage.
This started out on the far left in academic spaces, and it has absolutely stretched into normal liberal discourse, where even if they're not saying, white people are inherently evil, they are talking about whiteness as inherently oppressive. They are racializing in the way that they speak about the country and the policies that they implement. And there are a lot of people who feel like, I'm not going to vote for a party that hates me or that specifically wants to discriminate against me in some type of effort to atone for or a history of racism or something like that.
So Tally, I completely agree with you, and I know exactly what you're getting at, but I still want to know why the right then? Like, why not vote at all? Why not vote independent? Why not write in? Why not just like, why vote for Trump specifically?
Sure. So even since the election, like I'm absorbing new information and my thinking, changes. Soipil, you are like literally so aggravating. It's incredible.
Welcome to the club.
Because I had moved to the right. That's how I viewed myself. I viewed myself not just as like,
Kyle's
the
gonna
left
calm me
left
down,
me
okay?
and the left has gone too crazy.
Kyle's gonna say something
but
really
also
smart
I
and calm
viewed
me down.
myself as actually moving to the right. And again, I think part of this is because I was sort of looking at the left and the right in the way that like Tim Pool does. I brought this up before, but I think Tim Pool is
Well,
correct when he says. I think Tim
okay,
Pool
well,
is
okay, so
correct.
this is all right. So just
Erudite.
Wick, to be
Let
clear,
her- hold on, let her
self-admitted,
finish.
I'm as fucking retarded as Tim Pool, and now like listen to me, like go the fuck away. Like who gives a shit what you have to think? Jesus Christ.
Soipil, hold on. I do just here. I do have one question. One last
I
question.
didn't get to finish my
because-
thought though, so I don't know.
okay,
if-
go
I
Your
ahead,
don't know
go
if
ahead.
thoughts
you
are
asked
20
have
minutes
another
long
question.
and irrelevant, as we have pointed out. What's up, Joe?
Hold on. Let Tully
Like, I don't
finish
know
your
what to fucking
point,
tell
and then
you.
people can respond. I want to hear what.
Holy shit.
You shouldn't tell me
Erudite has
anything.
to
You should
say, too.
disappear. You should hang up now and stop giving any opinions because they're
Hang up.
useless.
If you're triggered, you should hang up.
No, I'm
literally,
trying to
no one
actually
asked
win
you
the
in
election. I'm trying to get
conversation.
people like you out of the conversation because you're useless.
Okay, I have a really important question for everyone. Do
I
we
am
all believe,
losing the election for Democrats. This is correct.
do we all believe in democracy here? Like, do we value democracy or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Radically.
Yeah.
Okay, if we value democracy, and sorry, I don't. My camera, I think it's working. Maybe it's not. Whatever.
We can see you.
If we value democracy, then if we disregard what 50% of the population says, how do we do democracy?
Kyla, I spoke so highly
Question.
of you, and then you came in with that silly question. We're not saying disregard what they say. No one's saying that. No one is saying that. For the
You
record.
said literally shut up and go away.
You said-
No,
Shut up
you
and
get
go
off
away.
this panel. Let's not figure out why 50% of the people are voting for Trump. There's a very different.
How are you going to
Sure.
address the
Tally has already
large
told us why she voted for Trump because the left was
Hey,
too
I'm not
woke.
talking
Okay,
about-
that's the
I'm not
extent of which we need to
I'm not
listen to
talking
her,
about
and now we can
question.
focus on messaging. But like that's
Well,
How are you
hold on.
going- How
What's
are you
important?
going to address the large amount of people that, whether you like it or not, do vote based on vibes? And I'm not saying either about like, who was mean to me right before I went into the voting booth, but
Mhm.
people vote based on vibes. We have
I'm
to
aware.
acknowledge that and address it.
Yes, I'm very aware,
Okay.
but we don't have to have them
Who
on the
said
panels
anything?
constantly saying the
My-
same things over and over and over. That's completely useless drivel.
Yeah, but then your criticism is just for Wick. It's not really for Tally. Like, Tally's going to come on because Wick right? Be telling Wick stop having MAGA voters.
My
on.
criticism
Okay,
is also
the
for
next
Wick, for
question.
platforming people I don't think should be talking at all.
The next question
No.
is: does the system
No, you're-
still
you're
work, and do we still believe in the system? Do we believe in the system as it exists, or do we think it's broken beyond repair, and we have to engage in different types of tactics to win?
We obviously have to engage in different kinds of tactics to win because we lost in the last election.
Okay,
So-
when I ask different kind of tactics, I explicitly mean should we engage in anti-democratic tactics in the way that the right is doing?
Like example, like what would be an example of that?
Stacking the court.
Is that
lying-
anti-democratic?
I would say to some degree, yeah. If you're like partisanly trying to stack the court in your favor, and then the court is ruling based on partisan politics instead of based on what the court is supposed to do, yeah, I would say that that's
Well, I
like
didn't say any of that. I did say that we should probably pack the court because the Republicans have stolen, 2 court seats from us?
sure.
They're
Okay, so we want the
actively
same
giving
return.
God powers to the president.
Yeah. I get it. So we should engage in stacking the court. Should we do misinformation and lie? Because that seems to be really effective for the Republicans.
No, I think that is
No. Why
coming
not?
to roost for them.
You say that.
I
But
mean,
many
they're
times did
now
Trump
having
lie
to
in
deal.
his
They're
first-
still having to deal with the. Right now, they're having to deal with the Epstein stuff. Maybe I'll change my opinion on the lying stuff in the future. Right now, I don't think that we have to lie. I don't think that that's going to have to happen at any point.
I
Gotcha.
would like to not go towards lying because I think already we live in a very post-truth like space, and I think we need to move away from that.
Sure. Okay.
Well,
So
not just that, but also history has shown that when you have just a regime of liars, it might take some time, it might take decades, but eventually reality snaps back. And the longer it takes, the worse the snapback. It's going to be terrible, and it will inevitably happen. So
Yeah.
I don't think we should go down that road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Gotcha.
that we should lie.
Okay, so then the next question would be, do you guys think that like shaming and bullying is an effective way to move people away from their position or towards your position?
I think I'm 60-40 on that being effective. I think that we obviously have that as a function in society. We don't, people feel shame when they walk outside and they're naked, right? So that is something that we have.
Do we?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good question, Rick. I've been waiting for someone to fucking donate.
Okay, so the question would be, should we shame fat people? Is that effective for getting them to change their lifestyle and lose weight? What's the data show?
I don't know the data on that.
The data shows it's not very effective, right? Like we've been bullying fat people forever. Nobody likes fat people. People always treat fat people terribly. Nobody likes to look at them. It's not very effective at getting people to lose weight.
Are you telling me that I have a question for you? Are you telling me that I should not treat Trump supporters badly?
I'm asking you, what is the difference between getting people to move their position on different things, right? So shame, as you said, works really well for getting people to go inside and not be naked by and large. But it doesn't work very well for getting people to lose weight. So the question that's, I think, really important
Well, it used to be really helpful for getting
useful?
people. It used to be really helpful for people staying in the closet on being racist. Because if you were outwardly racist, people would not vote for you again, and people would, fire you from your job, like the Don Imus guy. Like,
yeah, it
that
made
was
everyone
something
more
that would
polite.
happen.
That's true. It made everyone more polite, and I'm sure black people are
so
super happy that we made everyone more polite, not made them less racist. Yeah, I'm sure
Do you
black
think
people.
that
And now
people-
there's
do
a
you think
segment.
that-
Now there's a
Do
segment
you
of
think
the
that
left
people
that's
would
proudly
prefer
racist.
it? Do you think that
So,
people would
look where
prefer
we've
it
gotten.
if it was, more,
Yes,
in
black
society
people say
shameful
all the
to be
time that they
racist?
would absolutely prefer the racism to be explicit.
So what you're
it's a
saying
lot
to
less
me right
fucking
now is that
gaslighting.
what you're
Wait,
telling me,
wait,
what you're
wait.
telling me right now is that it would
This
be
is
a better
absolutely
world.
true.
No, hold on, Erudite. What you're telling me right now is that
Okay.
it would be a better world if we didn't shame people for being racist and that everyone just says the N-word because
at least
Is that
they're
what I
open
said?
about it. That's kind of
No,
what
no,
you're
well, that's
alluding to. Erudite.
literally
Like,
the argument that you were
Sondsol.
making at me. Yeah.
That's not the argument that I was making. If you want
Okay,
to
so
add new
repeat-
things to your
if you
delusion,
want to-
don't
well,
interrupt
if
me
you
right
want to
now. I only
I
have
was
a little
asking
bit
you
of
to
time.
repeat
I'm just gonna
the-
talk over you. I'm just going to talk
if you
over you,
want to repeat
Sondsol.
the
I'm just going
point.
to talk over you. I've done that a million times before. If you
If you
want to
wanna
add
repeat the
on new
point.
things to if you want to add on new things to what I said, sure, you can fight that ghost, but I'm over here. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me.
Sure, repeat
Obviously,
the point.
what I'm not saying here is that we should just whatever fan fiction you just wrote. The actual thing that's important here is the data on the efficacy of shame. That's what matters here. So, for example, is the world a better place when people are open about their racism versus inward about their racism? Well, it depends on what we mean by outward. But if you want to target racism, it's going to be a lot more effective to actually change hearts than to just make people polite, right? That's one thing that we could talk about. That's probably more important work than just making them polite. Although I agree, making them polite is nice, right? And so the question is, what is shame effective as? And the data shows us shame is really effective at getting people to change simple behaviors that don't cost too much. And it's extremely ineffective at making people do lifestyle and monumental shifts in perspective. This is why it's really not effective with overweight people, because it's a lifestyle change. It's not just like one thing. And it's also ineffective at making people not racist. Yeah, it makes them more polite, but it doesn't actually make them more racist. And so what we need to do on the left is have a nuanced attack where we go, how do we do multiple things at once, right? At what point in time should we shame people? Like, for example, when MAGA keeps losing to AI over and over and over again, I think that's a totally reasonable time to shame them, right? When they're just like spewing misinformation like Tucker Carlson was found to do, I think that's a completely reasonable time to shame them. However, when they're saying things like, I feel gross and disgusting when I'm around left people, they make me feel like I'm not worth being like a good human being, and I kind of hate them for their hypocrisy, we need to look at that and not go, you're right, I should stop being mean. We need to go, how do we change that perspective? Because shaming them to make them
Nobody
like
here
us
is
more isn't
arguing
going to
against
work.
that. I don't think anyone here is arguing
Really?
against that. I'm certainly not arguing against that.
Have you not been here? Hold on. Have we
I don't
not
know
heard
what I don't know
any
what
of
soy pill.
There
I
you
don't
go,
know if I
guys.
heard soy pill say that we should just be shaming people for the fun of shaming people, because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. But
Okay, thank you. I feel like I'm
in
taking
fact,
fucking
yeah, just
crazy
to
pills
clarify,
here.
and I'll clarify again. I
It
don't know if
did
you heard
sound
this,
like
Kyla.
Erudite was accurately describing soy pills to me.
Okay, well, here, well, let me clarify.
His
then.
demeanor
Let me
maybe,
clarify
but
then,
his
please.
points no.
Okay,
Why don't-
Okay,
I'm-
I gotta go. Peace and love. Thanks for letting me
Oh,
bombard.
Kyla,
you.
nice
Kyla.
to
Just drop the fucking retarded point and then
No, hold
peace
on.
out. Jesus fucking
That's the whole,
Christ.
that's the whole point here. Demeanor matters.
Okay, real quick. Were you?
No, well, first
No,
of all, no,
demeanor
it
does
doesn't,
not
Wick.
fucking matter.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
it does. Oh my
Then
god.
why does Trump win? If demeanor
question.
matters, Wick.
Quick
If
question.
demeanor
quick
matters,
question.
why do any conservative commentators have any careers? If demeanor matters, if any of the shit that you're
question.
telling me that I need to care about matters, then why the do any of the people on the other side have
You were
careers, have
pointing
political jobs, have appointed
Well,
positions
if
in the
I won the
government?
lottery one time, why isn't it? Why are you telling
Hold
me
on.
not to
Let
play
me-
the lottery?
sorry,
ever
sorry,
again,
let me say
right? I
something.
won the
Hold on,
lottery
hold on.
once. It
What is
happened.
that?
Oh, what is going on? Because you're pointing to a single win once, one
Wait,
election.
it's
cycle.
not just
Two
that.
elections,
It's not
actually,
just
Wick.
that. There
One.
are different types of people voting for different reasons. So it was the same thing like your question, like how many people do you think voted because they were bullied into voted for Trump? Well, I think very, very few. I don't count myself in that group.
Well, yeah,
but
that's
sure,
the
I'm sure
entire
there were
reason I
some
wanted to
people
be
who
in here,
did.
because it felt like there was an outsized amount of the conversation added on or
I don't think I ever
ascribed to
said
that.
That's the conversation, but that is the conversation that we are having, right? And so, yeah, how
Well, it
should
feels
the,
like there's
the
an
left
easy answer. You
appeal-
say no
Hold
and then you
on,
move on.
Hold on. Hold
Can
on.
I ask?
Sorry, yeah,
Oh,
I'm triggered.
No,
I'm
sorry,
letting you
sorry,
talk.
sorry,
Yeah,
I
I'm
did not
wrong.
mean to yell that at you.
I'm in the
Okay.
wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. You can make
They're
these
gonna
compar-
vote
oh,
for the
Trump
left
is
now?
so evil and he's a bully and stuff, and there are right-wing commentators who are so aggressive and cruel and all this. That doesn't mean that all of the people who voted for Trump are watching those people, are listening to those people, are attracted to that type of politicking or that personality. Okay. So there are people who voted for Trump who listen to centrists, who listen to heterodox people, who don't listen to Jack Posobiec, who think those people are crazy freaks as well. Okay. So
Well, yeah,
again, you're
I'll
trying to
talk to
group
those
everyone in.
people.
And frankly, you shouldn't be Dems shouldn't be fighting to win over lifelong conservatives or conspiracy theorists,
Tucker
populist
Carlson's,
right-wingers.
et cetera,
They should be trying
I'm
to
gonna
win
give
over
tweets.
the centrists and the disaffected liberals and the people who were formerly their allies and the people who still share values with them.
No one
And that
disagrees
is
with
where
this,
this
Sully, by the way, just to
conversation
be clear.
and that is where this conversation is most relevant. So comparing it to the extremes on the
It didn't
right,
feel
when
like
that's
that was
not
the
what
conversation we're
attracted the
having.
Wait. Can I just say, okay, I just want to say something really quick, and then I want to ask a question. Okay. So, first off, the whole thing about these conservative commentators who are performatively cruel, their main purpose is not swaying their electorates. Their main purpose is to entertain. Like, of course they're
Yes.
going to be performatively cruel. That, like, people are paying to see that shit. They love that. It's entertainment.
Star, the point is that clearly those people aren't causing these swaths of people to vote for the left. So why is this somehow a problem when the left does it?
Okay, here's
I know.
like
Hold on, just real quick.
No,
I know a
wait a
ton
minute,
of people
wait a
who will
minute.
never vote Republican because of
the
how Tucker
commentators are
Carlson
not
and et
relevant to
cetera.
who's voting for who. Commentators are entertainment. They're not like the average people next to you.
Oh, so can I be mean then, Star? Am I allowed to be mean since I'm a commentator?
Yes, you can. You can be mean,
Okay,
but
cool.
we're
It also
about-
did work. It also did work. Like there's an entire industry of never Trump Republicans.
Well, there's a okay,
The
average
bulwark. I mean,
person-
like
I'm
You
still
say it
talking.
did work. We
I'm still
lost. Like
talking.
I.
I'm still talking.
there are
I'm
people.
still talking.
Yeah.
I want to finish what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry to be obnoxious, but like unless I start doing it, like people,
mic
everybody's
kind of-
talking over me.
Your mic is kind of bad, to be honest. But
It's
Really?
really hard to hear
so
you.
it's
Yeah,
like
I'm sorry.
you never win. Whenever you're talking at the same time as someone else, you lose every time because your mic is lower than the other person's. Just
Okay,
so
I
you
had
know.
no idea. I'm turning up my gain. So okay, like I'm sorry, but like the purpose of we're not
She's about to
talking about
sound
what
like
commentators should be
Hawes.
doing, what entertainers should be doing. We're talking about like average people talking to other people. And secondly, like this claim that we're not doing, like we're not talking about shaming people here. That's absolutely not true. Like what was like Soy Pill doing as soon as he came in here, right? Like that was
Yeah, but did you hear me clarify that obviously you can reach out to these people, find out why they voted for Trump, and try to talk them out of it? But also, we shouldn't be listening to them as as to what the
Yes, you should
Democratic
only-
strategy moving forward is, because
Okay,
clearly
Right. You
they
should
vote based on
only- This
policies
is the
and they
problem.
don't have
This is
good
the problem.
advice.
That's not what I'm
This
talking
is the
about.
problem. Soypill thinks you should only be talking people out of their vote. You shouldn't be curious about why they changed or
I'm
what pushed
I'm
them
not
away.
saying that
I
at
am-
all. Obviously,
exactly
when you
what
talk
you
them
just
out of their
said.
vote, you
That
have
is
to
exactly
understand
what you
why they did it.
Okay, enough. Stardust has to finish her thought.
I'm going to drink
Stardust
bleach right now on camera. Okay, so that is not what I'm talking about. Soypill, like what you're saying. Fine, that's fine. You talk to people of all these different like leanings, but the point is, you did still come on here, and your first thing to do was to take Tali to task and shame her for like basically
Right, because she's going on a media tour about, well, how do you win me over? I'm so important. Look, everybody.
People
Again, people
are
are
asking. Yeah, I mean,
Yes, and I'm mad at you too, Wick.
Including Sondsol, who I
I'm
was supposed to
aware.
go
Part
on
of the
his
problem.
channel yesterday. Had
You
to
are part of the
reschedule.
problem.
I mean,
including
it's
Erudite,
horrible.
including
But
Populism,
listen,
Kyla. Kyla's
listen.
Live and
yes,
learn,
yes, you're all
including,
part of the
like-
problem.
Listen,
Okay,
this is
okay.
where I'm
Is there
coming from. I just
I don't know
want
what's going on here.
I
just
do
wanna-
want to hold on.
I'm so
I do
tired
want to
of
read some
everybody.
super
I have
chats.
no idea.
I do want to read some super chats, and I want to get Stardust. Stardust has to finish her thought, and then I'm gonna read some super
I
chats.
finished my thought. I'm just asking, am I still quieter than everybody?
No, but you
little-
sound like
little bit.
Haas.
You sound
It's just like
completely
a little, it's a
blown
little
out.
blown out.
Here,
Yeah.
So turn down your gain and turn up
Yeah.
your level.
Up my level.
Yeah, turn up your
That sounds
level,
better.
Star.
Do
Jesus
more
fucking
ASMR.
Christ.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Stardust.
I don't know what my level is. Oh, how do I
That's
turn
whatever
it
you're doing
on?
now. Keep doing that. That's perfect.
It's better
Yeah, you
already.
sound pretty good now. Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't do anything. I just turned my gain down.
Well, it
That's
works.
good.
Well, you're at the perfect point now.
I want to read some of these super
Maybe
chats,
just
make a little more money.
Far away from my mic or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I want to
Done.
read some of these super chats, make a little more money, and then we're gonna give it to Dev, then Sondsol, then yeah. $5 from Sneaky Skeleton to say, I voted for Kamala in 2024 and Biden in 2020 because Trump and the right made fun of them. This is a very valid viewpoint, and you should trust me. Thank you for $5. $5.
Bring him
from
on.
Greg
Bring him
Jones.
on. I want to hear what his
say-
strategy is.
At Dev, I agree about going after Trump, but Biden did that because he was trying to unify and appeal to the center and right. It got him nothing. $2
work out.
from $2 from Alexander Rin to say test. It worked. $10 from Artemis Fowl to say we are smarter. Also, we lost to literally Hitler, who wants to mass deport all brown people and wants to become king. Imagine holding these two positions simultaneously. $5 from AKA Batozai to say, Soy Pill, what's the most corrupt Democrat president you would still vote for? And is there any position on the right you support?
I support I don't support the completely let's not regulate guns at all. I think Democratic gun policy is ass backwards. Corrupt politician. I mean, I think Joe Biden did some corrupt stuff. I'd still vote for him. So I don't know who the most corrupt Democrat is.
Sure. $10 from I'm the most corrupt Democrat. Okay. $10 from Audacity to say, if I go to Double Eagle, I expect the finest quality. If I go to the Dusty Dive Bar in West PA, I expect nothing. Dems are promising the finest quality and failing. That is why you introspect. $2 from Smokey D Bandit to say, Sondsol, we say you too. $20 from Alexander Rin. Soy, you are not only bad faith idiot. His spelling, not mine. Says, you know nothing about people. Nobody cares that you're mean. They care if you act like you're better than them and spend your time shaming them for opinions you don't like.
I'm better than him because I didn't spend money to have to say my dumb opinion. I just had to
$10.
ask Wick.
$10 from DJ. No, everyone who spends money on Wick is the smartest, the best looking, just the best people. DJ Monotonous for $10 says, Tali, you're unironically worse than a Trump voter. If you knew how bad Trump was and would be and still voted for him, you don't deserve a platform. Just vote for what's better for the country, not you. Thank you for the
You left.
$10.
You got to repeat it.
I
You
will.
gotta
I'll
say
read
that
it
one when she's back. Please read it
I'll
when
read
she's
it when
back.
she's back. I'll say that for when she's back. I didn't notice she left till just now. $5 for
Oh, she's
she's
back.
back.
Read it again. Read it again.
I keep my headphone in. Of course, I heard everything. I didn't miss a
Okay,
beat.
$10.
Don't worry. Don't
Okay.
worry.
$10 from Artemis Fowl to say, Dev, these are your intellectual peers. $5 from
I am a
Smokey-
centrist, Artemis. Come on,
Wait,
you know that I'm
is
not
that
on the left.
disparaging to us or elevating to Dev?
It is
I don't think Artemis
absolutely
has any
disparaging.
room to speak, by the way. I don't think Artemis has any room to speak when he literally acts like he's better than everybody. You think that helps? You think that helps you, Artemis? Nobody likes being around you, okay? Because you're insufferable.
Look,
So
everyone who spends money
my
on
God,
Wiki TV is
Stardust.
special and
Sorry.
loved. Okay.
Wait, Stardust, this is just wait a second. Stardust, does this mean we're not playing any more Project Zomboid with Artemis? Is that done?
no, I'm a little bit joking, but it's true. He does act like I'm a little bit joking. I'm not serious about like nobody wanting to be around him, but I'm not joking about him acting like he's better than everybody. Okay, like do not like you have no place to speak, Artemis. I'm sorry, you act like you're better than everybody, and it's so annoying.
Okay, $5 from Smokey D Bandit to say, Soy, you don't realize we want you to keep being mean, keep being edgy, keep thinking you're superior. You guarantee our win, and it's funny, little man.
Okay.
Thank you for the $5. $10 from Audacity to say, if anyone here doesn't think they are as as Tim Pool, I wonder what it's like to live in a house with no mirrors. $5 from Artemis.
I never even got to finish my sentence about Tim Pool because that got derailed.
We'll get to it.
Making
Let me
fun
get
and
through
shaming
these.
too. Yeah.
People keep giving me money. Tolly, from Artemis Fowl, $5. Say, Tolly, the answer is simple. They tried to unalive Trump. You survive an attempt, you get the White House. Fair is fair. $2 from Hunter Rung. Is this for Collins? Kind of. We opened it up once, the thin end of the wedge. And
we got a lot of people backstage, huh?
We're not.
I don't like smug people in general. I just think it's irritating. Okay, and so when you guys come in here acting smug, aka soy pill over here, okay, nobody likes it. I don't like it from right wingers, and I don't like it from left wingers. So yeah.
Are you gonna vote for Trump now?
Who, me?
Yeah, because I was smug.
No, fuck no.
Okay,
Are you
cool.
kidding me?
Just checking.
$50 from Alexander Wrin to say the Democrats weren't running a candidate that people wanted to vote for. They ran one assuming Trump would lose with the lawsuits and January 6th insurrection. They didn't care to do anything, just run with the status quo as usual. They never learn. $5 from Audacity to say Sondsol proving in real time he doesn't know any black people. $5 from Artemis Fowl
What was that?
to say remember all the
talk about?
KKK members Daryl Davis shamed publicly and made them less racist and leave the Klan. $5 from Jake and Bake.
That's true. That's true.
Both right and wrong. Demeanor matters, but only when you're Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitch McConnell. Again, this idea. No, I got to read my super chats. But this idea that the Republicans aren't affected by this at all is silly. It's just it's not true. $5 from Artemis Fowl. I can answer why conservatives are popular, even though you hate them, but I want you people not to change anything, so you continue to lose. $50 from Audacity to say you have served penance to the Death Watch primaries. Okay, I get to put my shirt back on. Hell yeah. Okay, $5 from Dijnash to say everyone else is part of the problem except me. $5 from Non-Fawn to say, Tolly, have you heard of the Shrimp Welfare Project? $5 from Louis to say,
do you donate to it, Tolly? You should. I'm with Non-Fawn on this one.
I didn't hear it.
The Shrimp.
So do you know what it is?
I still can't hear what welfare project?
The Shrimp Welfare Project is when you donate money to a project that will anesthesize shrimp before they kill them so they don't feel pain, maximizing utility of suffering. So you should donate.
Okay.
Probably not.
$5 from Louis to say the combos that Dems should be
right-winger.
having among each other are not and should not be the same as combos they should have with right-wing or undecided voters. Yes and no. I don't necessarily disagree with that. $10 from Landon Stewart to say, why reach across the aisle? Joe tried and they hate him. Why not just appeal to your base like conservatives? Because our base is smaller. Who's the last conservative to try to reach across the aisle and they win most elections? Look again, our base is smaller. And if we only go where our base, we'll lose every time. Our base is smaller than the Republicans.
What
it just is.
In what capacity? We lost the popular vote once, and like that's the one that you keep pointing to is like, oh, this is a lottery, this is a fluke.
The popular vote.
Like, yeah, Ronald Reagan and that, like, right? So the base is bigger. Wick.
$2 from Glitterbell to say.
Are you not going to address that?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, Democrats have more voters.
If
what
we
are you
lived in a
talking
system
about?
without the Electoral College, you might be correct, but we do live in a system with the Electoral College, and it doesn't matter.
Well, then don't talk about expanding the base and then like act.
California.
Don't hold on. Don't talk about expanding the base and then talk down to us, explaining it away with the Electoral College. Okay.
I'm not explaining. I'm explaining. Hold on.
If you're expanding the base,
okay, so
it's more people voting for you.
Even if you get 200 bazillion people in California to vote for the president,
it's not worth fighting over. Never mind. It's
they
fine.
only get what, 54 electoral votes?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Sands knows how the Electoral College works, Wick.
Certainly. So it doesn't matter how many people in California care or
Wait, hold
want
on.
to vote,
Actually,
as long as we
everybody
get
else.
them-
Am I having a stroke? Am I wrong for like that?
No. So the issue ultimately, Wick, is that when you say base, that implies raw numbers.
It does, but raw numbers as included in each state.
I don't think that when I hear the word base.
Yeah. Okay.
Republicans have more registered voters than Democrats.
True too. $2.
Although we still win the
they don't
popular
matter.
vote every
Like
time.
all
That's
the
because
people
of
who
all the
saying, "Oh,
illegals.
I'm a Democrat," but then never have seen the inside of a voting booth. Who cares? $2 from Glitterbell to say what's Tali's
We get
take on
more
Trek,
votes.
right?
What are you talking about?
We
Don't
we had a
dismiss
whole-
that as if we don't get more votes in almost every single election, -2. From what was it?
But
Bush
are those
and then
voters?
Trump 4.
Are those voters
24,
all
or 22.
Democrats, or are they independents who side with Democrats?
That doesn't matter.
Yes,
for the
it does,
question, not
because
for the question
independents
that you was asked.
are not part of our base. They are undecided voters that we appeal to beyond our base, that we reach above our base, right, to pull them in. And if
Do
we
you
don't
think that
get
we're
them, we
on
lose.
average appealing to it? Okay, never mind. Let's just keep
Okay.
going.
$5, yeah, because you're wrong. $5
Okay.
from Phil Marr, sorry to say, Soy Pill has bigger muscles than you. I bet you're jealous. It's true. I am jealous of Soy Pill's muscles. That is correct.
I told him he
$2.
doesn't. I don't have to ask. I know Wick compliments me. He's very nice about it. Thank you, Wick.
Yeah, $2 from Phil Marr to say, can you ask Soy to do a peck pop? Not for $2. You're gonna.
He's been by the way, the reason I keep muting is because he's been spamming me $2, $5 donations to like flex and shit for him, and I'm like,
shit,
dude, I'm not performing for you on this. I want to have a conversation, but now he's doing it in your chat, so you have to say it out loud. But
Well,
here's
I will look
little peck
if
pop.
it's a problem, I can say, hey, Phil Marr, look, if you want me to talk, Phil Marr, you got a $10 minimum, okay? AKA Batozai says Democrats are responsible for Mitch McConnell. Mantis for $5 New Zealand dollars. I don't know how much
Funny money.
is.
Ugh.
Soy Pill makes me want to vomit. I hope Dems kick people like him out of the discussion.
I'm gonna vote even harder for Dem. I'm canvassing for 10 new homes because of that comment.
$5 from Audacity to say talking about the popular vote when base is mentioned is hilarious. Thank you for the $5. Okay, that said, Dev, then Sondsol. Go ahead.
Was it my turn?
I don't
have
know.
had anything.
Fuck. I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot.
Moderator-
Sondsol, go ahead. Sondsol, go ahead.
Listen, this is all I was going to say. Like I'll open the kimono here a little bit. My strategy coming in here is I was going to ask that one question. Yes, that's a saying, Soy Pill. All right. Maybe I'm old and I just am saying some old
I gotta
ass shit
Google it.
here.
I've never heard that. Is that
Yeah.
like flashing someone?
It's revealing. Listen, so this is where I'm coming from. Okay. 2016 happened. It was a massive shock to all liberals, right? From 2016 to the 2024 election, basically the underlying thought process for me was, why the fuck did people vote for him? Let me understand conservatives. I'm from the deep South. I have family that voted for Trump who are Trump's voters. I don't actually want to kill all of them, right? So that's like where I'm coming from. Also, where I'm coming from is I've seen Democrats try to reach out across the aisle who have made overtures, who have made, every effort in the world, not perfectly, because, they still want to pass bills that they want to pass, but they have made overtures to the right, and then the right makes no overtures to the left. The right is going full demon mode right now to a point that has made me like completely change my view
Stardust,
of humanity.
answer your DM real quick, please.
It's real. They've lost their minds. And I'm super anti-lefty. I used to fight with them all the time, but it's not worth fighting with them right now because the right has lost their mind. And that's where I'm coming from. And that's why I wanted to have that conversation. I admit I did not watch the conversation, the Live and Learn one, because I didn't want to get too poisoned one way or another. I watched like the first 10, 15 minutes of it to get an idea. So yeah, I didn't want to get poisoned against the idea of talking with you or anything. Oh.
And I didn't watch because I heard they weren't very mean to you. So I don't think they probably said anything good.
They weren't mean to her, but they should have been.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I recall what I was going to say before. I've got
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I remember my point. Okay, so Sondsol, I think this is where you might be wrong. Okay.
Okay, tell me.
So this is something I mentioned earlier, but I think it went over everyone's head. The title of the stream is not, are the Democrats too mean to centrists or other Democrats, or is the left too mean to people and it drives them rightward? Because like I said before, that happened a bit in 2016. It's happening less now, I think. The title is, are the Democrats responsible for the rise of MAGA? And they can be responsible in multiple ways. Being mean is one way. Now, I think the way that they're responsible for it
Really
is
quick,
they did
just-
not destroy. I want to finish this. They failed to destroy MAGA in 2021. That's how the Democrats are actually responsible for MAGA's current rise.
I mean,
Because they did
based.
not destroy them, and they should have. And we can hold them accountable for that. Because I guess maybe, Biden thought, oh, I'm going to be this great
Statesman.
reconciliator, and
Yeah.
it just didn't happen. So perhaps the Democrats next time around need to, be a little bit more, be a little bit less handshaking, a little bit more with a sword, basically.
Can
Right,
I
but
ask
I say
something
that,
really
and then
quick?
Wick starts screaming at me and saying that I'm too mean.
You are.
Can I ask something really quick?
Sure. What's up?
So, I just have a question. Soy Pill had a lot of issues with just even Tolly being on this panel. So Soy Pill, are you one of these people who's like very much for like you shouldn't platform so and so people, like that? Are you like very like?
No. Here, let me clarify one more time, okay? I don't think that talking to people like Tolly is useless. I don't think that Tolly's opinions are useless. I think understanding why Tolly voted is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. However, this is what Tolly has to offer us. Here's my dumb reason I voted in 2020. Here's how you can win me back. Cool. Now go away forever. Because I need to actually appeal to voters who vote based on principle and policy, and not people who are going to look at all the horrible things that have been happening for the 8 years and say, well, I don't know, I'm still on the fence about this, because I honestly think you're. So let's get those sentences out and then disappear.
Okay, hold on. Soy Pill. I want to actually directly address this, okay? So I'm a voter. I am a voter who has absolutely zero principles, okay? No principles whatsoever.
I actually don't know. Like, are you
No,
just...
no, here. You know what? Whichever side gives me the most blowjobs, I'll vote for you. So, listen, you give me a blowjob right now, I'll vote Democrat. Will you do it?
No, because then some Trump voter will give you 2 blowjobs, and then I'm right. It's not worth the time.
Okay, fine. You know what? Fair enough.
Voting Republican.
First person to suck me off gets the vote.
Oh, then I'm on my knees already, buddy.
Okay, base, let's do it.
This is canvassing, right? Like, I'm going to go around, I'm going to suck so many dicks for the Democratic Party. I would lay down my life. I would guzzle buckets of cum, as they say. It would happen.
I'm just really curious.
like the
Lav,
type.
why are you here?
I
Is that
saw
like a haha, you're gay? Like, good one, Lav.
nothing gets past you. Nothing gets past you.
No, it's just a very lame
I saw
comment, like,
the title and I was like, I think that I have a good opinion.
Sure.
Can I just ask before you say your opinion? Is this like the crazy Destiny lady, or this is a different
Yeah.
Lav?
It is.
Well, I'm actually completely vindicated, as you might have learned recently. But
I would rather not call her the crazy Destiny lady. She is her own person with her own
Well, that's
thoughts.
the only reason I
right?
know her. But anyway, go on. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Did we not say,
also
right?
I'm not just the crazy Destiny lady. I'm the crazy dog girl. I'm the crazy Jewish
Wow.
Mexican girl. I'm the Kiwi Farms girl.
That's
Yeah,
quite the
I'm the
career.
crazy turd.
It's
I'm the
okay,
crazy
Lav. I'm
turd.
like the designated punching bag for everybody. So we have, that in common. So
Yeah. But just so you know, yeah, I was vindicated. Anyway, which actually goes along with what I was going to say, is that I think that Democrats have caused it only because they made the world such a awful, dangerous place recently, and everything is topsy-turvy and upside down. And people are saying, oh, I think actually you guys are nuts. And I am actually seeking safety. I think one of the big I think that women are leaving the Democratic Party in hordes because of Democratic men. I think something that was really blackpilling for like a ton of women was just how see-through men are becoming. These liberal men who are actually predators are becoming in the media. I think that was like huge. I think that it's easy to see now that
are we doing the?
these
Are we going to like
wait,
sit
wait,
here
wait.
and just like?
Yeah, these
How
predator
many
men need
rage
to-
bait statements are we
Wait,
going to
wait.
get through before we give her the
Hold on,
attention she
hold on,
wants?
Can I
hold on.
strong
All
man
right,
her
she
point?
wants attention. She's given us every rage
Wait,
bait thing that she
wait.
could say. Are we going to
Wait.
give her the attention,
These
or
are
are we
real
going to
opinions.
have the conversation we were doing?
these
Can
are
I
real
can I
opinions.
strongman
No,
her
she's
point? For a
genuinely that
second? Yeah.
retarded.
I can I strongman the point. Okay, from a feminist perspective, right? The one thing I would say is that this whole thing of not being tough on crime, I think is not, it doesn't serve females very well, right? Now I don't know.
She just said that people were leaving the left because of predatory men, and then say, oh yeah, and they went and voted for Trump, the guy who bragged about groping women's pussies. Like, yeah, if you do
I
that,
didn't say for Trump.
yeah, that's retarded.
That's not what the panel's about. It's not specifically for Trump.
It actually is about the MAGA movement and Democrats playing into it. So
sure, but it's not specifically.
I don't know what her. I don't know what her specific point is.
Okay,
and
but you're coming in and probably giving a much better point, Star, to your credit, because you're not a stupid person. But that's not what she's saying. She's saying something much stupider.
You actually didn't even realize what I was saying. You couldn't even repeat it back to me.
Lav, you just said people are leaving the Democratic Party in droves because of these predatory feminist liberal.
That's one of them. What were the other things?
And
what was the other thing I said?
Well, hold on. I got triggered on that point because that's a stupid.
Of course you did, because you're emotional and you're feminine.
Because you said a dumb, stupid point.
But what was the first thing I said?
You're calling me feminine. It's like, oh, this is why the people are leaving the left. Anyway, I criticize people by saying feminine as a derogatory term.
I'm not going to let you.
You say a lot of shit, but you can repeat it.
The first thing I said. Okay, I said that the Democratic Party has made the world an unsafe place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
the Democratic Party are making the world an unsafe place.
People are seeking safety, right? And yes, people are seeking safety, normalcy, even even if the identity politics are making people scared for their children. I think that we have entered
aware of all this.
a very a free world. Thank God for freedom and thank God for liberty. But I think it's a bit.
Listen, folks. How can I still hear Soy Pill? Oh, okay. I muted her.
White, educated women and women in general vote Democrat far more than any other demographic. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And I'm sorry,
I don't know why anyone here is taking you seriously.
I disagree with the trad wife.
You said women are.
Okay, I'm muting. Why are we? Why are we doing this? Like, this is the definition. This is like the exact thing that I do not want to do anymore, is argue with people that don't actually believe. Someone muted Lav, I muted Lav. I deafened and I muted her. I was definitely and muting that shit. I'm not letting that shit seep in here. What the But like, Jesus Christ, like, it's the exact, like, she doesn't have any values. She doesn't have any true beliefs. She just argues shit because it gets her attention online. It's super, super, super gay. And I don't care for it.
People feel unsafe with certain democratic policies, right? Being lax on crime is not going to win women over, right? The great equalizer for men and women is going to be being tough on crime. I'm sorry, men commit crime way more than women do, and even though men are the victims of crime, it is still something that women think about, right? If men are the victims of crime more than women are, it's still something that women overwhelmingly think about, and it loses moderate Democrat voters when we are not tough on crime. So
I agree with that completely, Star. And like I said, you're going to have a very good point. That is not what Lav is saying.
But specifically on the trad wife thing, that's just vibes based. I'm sorry. No,
because you said a bunch of stupid shit, and then also kind of alluded to a smart point, which then Star elaborated on.
Yeah. And so the trad wife thing is not that's just vibes based. If you look at like all the stats, like when it comes to stay at home moms are generally much more economically vulnerable. They're more unhappy. And I'm sorry, like being reliant on anybody. Being reliant on anybody for an income, you are putting yourself in a like, it's fine if you want to choose that life, but if you it's fine if you want to choose that life, but in general, like being reliant on somebody else for an income does put you in a more vulnerable position. And I do think that as women, you should advocate when all women have education and have the skills necessary to provide for themselves if they need to.
I want to hear what Tali has to say. Go ahead, Tali, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think I find personally a lot of the trad wife messaging very cringe and hollow, but I think there is a reaction that some segment of women are having, and it's a culture. I would call it again a sort of a culture war or a cultural issue, and not just a vibe. But it's there is a portion of women who feel like they were essentially lied to. Basically, that they were sold a bag of goods that is not working out for them in their lives. And the problem is that there is truth to this, right? It's not a prescriptive thing. And that's where I really resent where the right, especially people on the far right, the extreme right, whatever you want to call it, the alt-right, they take this to a prescriptive level and say, well, women should have to stay home. Women shouldn't be able to vote. Women should only do X, Y, or Z. That is obviously overcompensation in the wrong direction. But there are actual differences between men and women on average. We should recognize these things. We shouldn't shame women for wanting some of these things. And we shouldn't set women up with unrealistic expectations of how their life is going to go when they actually exist on a real biological clock. So there are women who are resentful about the society that they find themselves in that doesn't make them alt-right or even want to be trad wives.
What percentage difference in women vote from 2020 to 2024 do you guys think it was? It droves, by the way.
You're per
I've actually
capita?
got it right here. I
No,
looked it
not
up.
per
So,
capita. No.
Okay,
just
So
percentage.
let me.
well, hold on.
Well,
Right, but
No, it's a
more
very simple
people
question,
are
not like
voting. More people are voting than ever before.
Well,
So
I,
I
I
also
looked
want
it
to
up.
say
nothing to do with what I
Trump
just
is
said.
Hold on, I want to hear the
such a-
actual
Trump
stat.
is such
Yeah,
a-
please.
It's 3%. Wait,
Trump
it's
is-
3% more
Trump-
people,
Trump
and
is
you can
such
attribute
a-
that to a
hold on,
million
hold on,
things that
hold on.
are liberal men.
Oh my
first
God,
of all.
nobody
So
listens
it's
to me on
not-
my
Okay,
own
so I
goddamn
agree. You
panel.
don't need
The
to
liberal
attribute
men
it-
thing
you don't
was
need to
You
the
brought-
liberal men thing
don't
was
need
Rick, you
to
brought
attribute
Lav
it-
on here. Did you really think that you were going to
Hold
get
on, you
control
don't
of the
attribute it to
panel?
liberal
Lav
men.
isn't the one that's speaking over me right now.
I would
to be
also
frank.
argue.
I'm being
Okay.
respectful.
Am
I would
I?
argue.
Well,
I
for
would
now,
argue.
we got our
Please,
okay.
Please,
I'm good.
please.
Hold on.
I would argue. Hold
Yeah,
on,
sorry.
please let me just get this out. I would argue that Trump is such an odious figure that there are lots of women who are of the mindset that I just described who did not vote for Trump, refused to vote for Trump because they find him such a horrible, sexist, whatever else.
Yep.
But they are disaffected in the way that I just described. And with a less odious figure, they may go over and vote for the right or stop voting for the left in order to prevent Donald Trump. So this population exists even if they didn't show up to vote for Donald Trump in 2024.
Okay,
I'm one of them,
Then how do
absolutely.
you know that they exist? Like, what? How do you know that that number exists?
I want to
They
hear.
do exist because I live in the world. They literally exist.
Okay,
Do you have
Deb,
any idea on how to
Deb,
arrive at the
go
number
ahead,
where
please.
that comes from?
Oh my God.
I've got the stat. Okay, I've got the stat. So
Yeah,
I
get
looked
the
it up.
stat, please.
So in 2016, women broke for Trump at a rate of plus 15. In 2020, it was plus 11, and in 2024, it's plus 7. So in all three elections, they are proportionally voting more for Trump, but that proportion's narrowing each time.
So it's the opposite, actually. Fewer people, because that's not the stat I read.
No,
but that,
so what?
if anything,
So what
would...
Tali? So what Tali actually just said is that, especially now, with as time has gone on, it would make sense that women would turn their backs on Trump. I'm someone who is a Republican now. I would never in a million years vote for Trump. Never in a million years would I vote for someone who has like a credible allegation in my life. And there are so many women like me who feel that exact same way. And what that stat actually suggests is that she's right. So.
Well, just to be clear, women still vote for Trump, or sorry, voted for Harris more than Trump, but the margin is getting smaller.
I mean, if that's the stat, that's the stat. What?
Dev, can you send me the stat? Because I wasn't.
We already
what you're
said.
saying.
No, I didn't even disagree. I said there was a 3% increase in women voting for Trump from 2020 to 2024, which I was using to demonstrate that droves of people aren't abandoning the Democrats because of Democratic Party policy on women. Do I know what 3% was? That it's not nothing. Yes, it fucking matters.
What are the stats on switching?
Do you mean like, did they cite why? Well, if you look at the top like 3 things that people were worried about, it was like the economy, like wars, and not wars. What was the other one? I don't remember. It doesn't matter anymore. The point is, it's not like liberal men or policies about like how the left is treating women.
The reason either.
Well, first of all, I'll just give you the number one reason, which was the economy. You have no idea. You're just like, oh, it's because of this bullshit. Okay, I will.
Show me.
This is very easily. Yeah.
Too, bud.
I said one thing, you completely disregarded it. It's the number one thing everyone voted on. It's the economy, and has nothing to do with gender politics. But let's see what the other reasons are. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, everything.
Well, the economy still affects women in a gendered way, right? So
yes,
because of all the pink tax. True.
Right.
Yeah, more than that, but yeah.
Okay.
You know, Andrea Dworkin has a fabulous quote about this specifically, and I can read it if anyone's interested. But
Go ahead, read your
I
quote.
have to ask a question because my chat is going to riot if I don't. They want me to specifically ask Tali what her thoughts are on trans rights. So,
Oh God.
They asked that in Wix chat too. Can I read the quote really quickly and then you can say?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, right-wing women. This is very true. This is what's happening right now culturally on Twitter, on social media. This is what they're trying to get women on TikTok with the trad wife shit. Right-wing women have surveyed the world. They find it a dangerous place. They see that work subjects them to more danger from more men. It increases the risk of sexual exploitation. They see that creativity and originality in their kind are ridiculed. They see women thrown out of the circle of male civilization for having ideas, plans, visions, ambitions. They see that traditional marriage means selling to one man, not hundreds. That's the better deal. They see that the streets are cold and that the women on them are tired, sick, and bruised. They see that the money they can earn will not make them independent of men, and that they will have to play the sex game of their kind at home and work too. They see no way to make their bodies authentically their own and to survive in the world around men. They know too that the left has nothing better to offer. Leftist men also want wives and whores. Leftist men value whores too much and wives too little. Right-wing women are not wrong. They fear that the left, in stressing impersonal sex and promiscuity as values, will make them more vulnerable to male sexual aggression, and that they will be despised for not liking it. They are not wrong. Right-wing women see that within the system in which they live, they cannot make their bodies their own, but they can agree to privatized male ownership. Keep it one-on-one, as it were.
What year was this written?
can I interject here? Can I interject here?
Well,
So I will say.
It was written in the
I want to say
80s?
something.
Okay.
I want to say something. So I understand the perspective of this quote, right? But when you actually look at like how these things bear out, I think that it actually ends up being that a lot of women are in more danger in their own home than they are when they are, going to work. Right? Like, what is the rate of domestic violence? Right? I'm sorry, how many women are killed by their partners? Right? So, and that poses a, they say that like, you can look at all these things, and obviously safety is a huge issue for women in general, right? That's why we can't be lax on punishing crime. But at the same time, this idea that being stay at home or staying in your home is going to be safer is not necessarily true, because a lot of women engage. A lot of women encounter their first instance of domestic violence when they get pregnant. Right. A lot of women just end up dying from it. So it's not true.
That's necessarily
right?
the lesson.
Yeah.
I think that the lesson.
Hold on,
that
just
I
stop. We gotta let Tali go. Right. We do. She was asked a question, and everyone keeps like, we will never get to the question unless we give mic to Tali. Tali, you were asked about trans rights. We did a whole show on this, by the way. There's a whole show that you can go and look, but I guess people want the TLDR right now. So go ahead.
I think trans people should have rights. I abhor the bullying and cruelty that a lot of people target against trans people, especially on the basis of their appearance. I don't know.
I want to pivot off of
Anyone have a
Tali
more
saying that,
specific
just to be
question?
clear, because I've been really hard on you, Tali. I think you're ultimately probably a good person, and I don't hate you. It is this specific topic of which I am triggered, just so you know. And I wish the best for you and your wife. I hope that Obergefell does not get overturned. Yeah. And I will have Gavin Newsom illegally marry you at the San Francisco courthouse if it is.
Very kind. Thank you.
Okay. Well, gang, I don't know where we're going from here. Lav, finish up your thought, and then we might just
I was just saying I don't necessarily think that that was the lesson in that is that like to stay home, but I do believe that there is a passion of men of the right wing where they feel more protected, and I feel like in a post sexually open society, post birth control pill, post free sex, free love of the 2000s, women are getting tired and they're getting weathered, and they see men who are ready to take care of them with very pretty words. It doesn't even necessarily need to be true, and I think that women ultimately prefer that because we are just animals after all.
I think,
but yeah, that was just speaking to women.
Sure.
But I think overall, there's more democratic issues that are turning people to MAGA. And I also would like to clarify: I don't think that MAGA. I think that MAGA has become bigger than just Donald Trump at this point. It's a movement.
Yeah, sure. I think the best policy for women is to be cynical when it comes to any man talking. I'm sorry to say, but you have to be cynical when it comes to any man talking, whether they're right wing or left wing.
George Floyd.
Because
Even George
I'm
Floyd?
sorry.
Even
George Floyd, because you know, men generally are the same, like across the political spectrum. I'm sorry, they commit more crime. Every man is like horny as fuck at every stage of life. Men are their libido is higher than women, even when at the point where women are at their highest in libido. Men still have a much higher libido at every stage in their life than women. And men are not, I guess, not taught to have any self-control. So, you know, I mean, yeah, that's just.
So one of my frustrations, general cultural observation and frustration, is that it does seem like in some ways the left only acknowledges, and I'm not saying you, Stardust, in particular, I don't know your views on these things, but you seem pretty based from what I can gather, but the left seems to only acknowledge these sex differences in these cases, in a case where they can make a case for sexism against women. So if they're trying to prove that women are earning less, right, in the market, or if they're trying to show how women are literally vulnerable in comparison to men in a physical way, they then pretend that men and women are completely equal in their desires and their abilities and in their preferences and all of these things. And that's a frustration that a lot of people, again, there's a lot of people who just who resent the hypocrisy, and it doesn't make them
one of the
enthusiastic Republicans necessarily.
One of the
can I real quick clarify just the top 5 things? Because I did look this up and we're going to move on from this week. But the economy, democracy in the US, terrorism and national security, Supreme Court picks, and then 5th is immigration, which is like the only one you might be able to spin into maybe it's crime, and then kind of turn that into, do I feel safe as a woman? So no, it was none of the things that Lav brought up, just to be 100% clear.
Fair enough, but
No, I heard that women are actually terrified.
I also
of
think that
walking
you're
around
being
cities.
like extremely autistic about this. I think that there are plenty of ways that people vote for things and don't necessarily like track it. What's on the ticket? Are they writing in the reason why they've switched parties? Are they writing in the reason why they're voting?
You would have to even know what
I'm sorry,
what they're asking.
You don't even
all polling isn't valid because we haven't asked every single person about their opinions.
Polling.
Statistics,
No,
you
are acting like you know. That's the problem. You are acting like you know more than I do, and you don't. You are guessing
I'm
just
going
as I am.
on polling data, and you're going on, well, we can't know because we didn't ask everyone on their. What do you want? Do you want me to send you more links?
Data.
What do you?
No, I want
about?
to know. I want to know how they're asking these questions. This is
we gotta
not.
dive deep into the fucking methodology, my
extremely important, very important, somewhat important, not important. This is how most polls are done. You can rank topics. You can pick which are your top 5. This
So
is a thing.
what topics are on the questionnaire?
Oh my god!
Can you write it in?
Do you want me to explain to you how?
Is there any question that? Hold on, really quick. Is there any question that you're looking for specifically?
To me how you're getting
is there one specific question that you're looking for to be on there that will satisfy you, or will you hear the list of questions and then after that, like ask for the next thing until you can find one specific thing to get really mad about and then dismiss the entire thing instead of presenting, I don't know, counter data or something.
Right. I have a feeling that you're just going to repeat that 3 more times if I don't stop you.
I actually finished and let you speak, you dumb.
Okay.
What the?
Okay. So the problem that I'm speaking to, the problem that I'm speaking to with this polling is that I don't think that it's impossible. First of all, polling at all for opinion-based thing is social sciences. You can't really trust it, right? We all know that. We all know that there are hidden voters.
We know that you have the mental fortitude of a 5-year.
What? I'm sorry. That shit's so, dude. I can't. That shit's so stupid. I'm really speechless. Oh, they're saying insanity, making me side with Sondsol. What's going on now? Bullied off the panel by Lav? Yeah, that's what happened. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't care. I'll care later. I need to talk about this panel. Jump in, fine. Hey.
Holy, I am so pissed. I've never been so pissed off at these vibe-based people at any point up until today. Like, holy, your biggest, like, I'm going to rant real quick. Talia's biggest topic is, oh, Kamala was too mean to Israel. Oh my God. Like,
I haven't even watched her. Like, I watched like the first 15 minutes of their discussion on the Live and Learn.
She mentioned it on the panel that was like it was her moving right on like Israel, or Kamala being too far to the left on Israel.
Jesus.
And like, that's it. That's your like magnum opus policy. Is Kamala too mean? I can't take these people seriously. I can't.
But like here's the thing. I had a whole strategy to go in there and have like a whole conversation. Oh shit, I just realized I haven't turned my camera back on. I had a whole strategy going in there, what I was gonna do and all that shit. But like, man, I'll tell you something. Once Soy Pill started going off, it was my strategy was no longer going to work. So me, dude. Like, I think I understand what she's trying to get across, but like, it's not any more respectable than the straw man, like half exact that we're, you know, like I don't. It is vibes based. She admits that, and I wanted to talk to her about it. We'll see if she still wants to talk to me about it tomorrow. But, dude, like, why are we in one breath going to be saying the Democrats can't act like this, right? Like, look how mean the Republicans were, right? And we did better, but then. Love you, miss you. Hey, Jeb, how's it going? You're welcome to jump on here too. You're one of two conservatives on Twitter that I see that I still respect. But like, I don't even know what to say about that panel, dude. I don't even know what to say about it. It was just that stupid. And then Erudite's final point. What was the final point that she made? It made me want to kill myself.
It was about like vote shaming, like that, like, and how it's like not effective. And like, here's the thing. We're not shaming her, or you guys aren't shaming her because like she holds like some bad political like policies or like whatever the fuck her positions. It's because she doesn't have any. She doesn't have anything to speak for. She is just working off pure vibes. And like this whole like, oh, like, because like we can't shame fat people into becoming skinny, we also can't like shame like MAGA voters into like becoming liberals. No one's arguing that point, Erudite. No one's arguing
here's
that.
The thing.
She has she has no points.
I didn't want to. I'm trying to still have that conversation tomorrow if she's willing. We'll see when she jumps off of this if she wants to still. But like not so Erudite was there. Like, that's not my point, right? It's not Soy Pill's point. He's making it seem like it's his point though. But also, I don't care that he's that mean.
Kind of playing it up a little.
Yeah, I don't care that he's that mean is the thing. I don't care. I can't criticize someone for being that mean because that's how that's how the other side is. And that's how they like, now they aren't that way to centrists. Maybe that's the problem, but me, dude, how can they look at that behavior and say that it is worse? Just say it's on par. But to say that
they only appeal to the, I'm going to be honest, they only appeal to the centrists who are also like vibes based. Like I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to ride that shit. Anus perked. I'm going to like sit on that fence right in between. And then, whereas you got some people on the left are like, yo, like that's really stupid. You're just going to sit there and like do nothing. And then you got the Trump voters like, yo, look, those guys they're being really mean for you for sitting on that fence right there. I think you should just sit even farther onto that fence. Come to our side. We love you for doing that. Good job.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand that, but like also, I don't know. There's just like there are key words that she used that like bug the fuck out of me, like dignity, right? Like they don't vote for Democrats because they have dignity, because they're being talked down to like that. And it's like, I'm sorry. These people don't have any dignity because they voted for Trump. They know, like, it is so blatant in your face. They even say it, that they're lying to you. And you
the problem is they don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't care. The
things that they've
fed them.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
They've been fed certain like problems, or they've been fed a certain like sources to problems. They've been told for however long that they've been a Trump supporter, this is who we should be talking about. We should be talking about the stinky immigrants that are taking all the jobs away from you. The reason why you don't have your like coal plant job out in the middle of, or not coal plant, but a coal mine job in like West Virginia is because some stinky immigrant took it, or because of like the like trade deals that we've made, or the reason why like everything looks so crazy to you is because the far left is going really crazy about LGBTQ issues, or like DEI, CRT, like all this. Like they're just being fed these sources right there, and it sounds very appealing. It sounds very simple, very like, oh look, I can point to these guys right there and what they're doing or what they're supposedly doing, and like I can be really mad at that, and I can fight for something right there. And that's like the entire point of like a populist movement right there, is to like kind of on one part simplify the issues and rally people against those issues.
What I need to do is I need to find some of my college papers I've written about, because populism is actually, if you can believe it, in political science, a very big topic, especially right now.
Yeah.
And I like every paper I've ever written on populism, I get a straight 100 on. And this is why, because it is so easy to describe populism. It is the us versus them. It doesn't matter what the us and the them is. It just matters that there is an us and there is a them. And that's what populism is. That's what
it's
it
a
fucking
tool.
is. Yes.
It is a political tool.
And I think it's a bad political tool. I think it's bad. I think it's something that we have to engage with right now in the world that we live in.
I agree. It's effective though. That's the crazy thing. It's a bad tool insofar as it can be heavily weaponized. Like,
sure, if we threatened to everyone that walked
like,
across the street without the signal, I mean, I'm sure there would be a lot less jaywalking. But like, but really quick, just Fishy Pone in chat. She thinks of shaming from the individual person being shamed's perspective, and not everyone seeing the culture around it. Like shaming a fat person won't make them skinny, but a fat shaming culture absolutely led to people watching their weight and never getting overweight in the first place. Look at every Asian country ever. Look at every
True.
They don't sit, like, they will sit there and they will shame individual fat people. Yeah, they will do that, but they will sit there like their stores that sell large, there's extra small, small, medium, and then there's large and extra large. The stores that sell large, they call them like moo fat girls and shit like that. That's the name of the stores over there.
Yeah. Not to mention that their sizing conventions
works.
Not to mention that those size conventions too, like their large is like our like size 2 for women's. Like,
yeah.
It is like the way that they describe things. Their Overton window for things is crazy, and also like I know this a little bit because I had personal experience with an ex of mine. You know her or knew her, but like her like extended family and her family for like the longest time like would just they would be on her about her like weight, and she wasn't even like particularly like terrible like either. She's just like above like what would be like a really skinny girl's weight.
Yeah, and
like that like. It contributed a lot to like some of her like personal like image issues and all that. Like,
I mean, like, listen,
It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, fat shaming is like I think that like obviously there's nicer ways to do things. I feel like I think that fat shaming is mean. It's not something that I'm like super concerned about, right? Like so like that's why when she brought up the fat shaming thing, I was a little taken aback. But that's finally someone else says they're going to fuck someone else's mom, not mine. Let me see here.
That was me to whoever the fuck's mom.
No, I knew once Lav joined that I had to leave, but I
was like trying to fucking get Wick to put me on there because I was rage baited so hard. I was like, I'm ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, I knew that I wasn't going to talk to Lav, but me. All right, anything else?
I don't know. Maybe no, never mind. I was gonna say something really stupid.
All right. Hey, are you streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys?
I was like, wait, I'm also streaming. I nuke myself too.
Wait, are you streaming for a long time?
I'm gonna be streaming for a long time. Yeah.
Okay,
At
I'll
least,
probably
like, 4
rate
hours.
into you. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely rating into you then, because I'm not gonna last that long. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just surf the web, and then I'll catch you later, buddy. All right.
All right. Take care.
Bye bye. Well, she was comparing someone's fat lifestyle with someone being racist as a lifestyle. Yeah, like I didn't want to be like she was coming off a little condescending. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's just like the inner misogyny in me. I could be, but yeah, I like the way she was like talking, and I don't know why I was having to answer for Soy Pill, right? But like she wasn't. I don't feel like she was responding to anybody on that panel, even though I think that Soy Pill was not in the right with the way that I'm not even gonna say that. Let me walk back that soy bullshit. I don't care what a leftist or a liberal does. I don't give a. All right, if they want to be edgy, if they want to be mean, like look at all of the shit that the conservatives are posting. I don't give a. It's not what I was gonna do when I went in there. So hopefully we don't, lose the opportunity to talk to Tally tomorrow. But if we do, that's fine. I don't know what the was that? Like, what the are they, like, are they still going? Erudite wants you to coddle Republicans because coddling, like, I can't coddle them, man. I can't. And people want people to be nice, but they're not nice. Why would I be nice to people who are just not nice people? Star just quit. Is it that stupid?
Worth listening to, giving advice on how to shift the vibes longer than 10 seconds.
Let's go back a little bit. Let's see Star leave. I don't know why YouTube decides to get super slow on me. Who the fuck is that guy?
Tell people to be nice.
Jonah?
But it is.
Oh my god, there's so many people who want to fight with Lav in there, I think.
It's effective.
Is it?
I think it is. I think
it depends.
Wait a minute. What am I doing? You guys want me to still go? $100. $100 and I'll go another hour. What am I doing? Like $5 from Groter Bell to say, Wick, dude, everyone talked through my questions both times. You half read it. Please ask Tali her position on trans rights. We did.
Wait, we definitely let her.
We had a whole gang. If you want to
see
see a whole show, a whole debate on trans rights with Tali, We hosted one. I think Soypill was actually on that one. You can go and
It
look
was,
at
and
it.
Tolly was great.
Yeah.
That was Tolly's my favorite debate opponent ever, I will say, because she was so kind and good faith, and everyone heard each other out. It was amazing.
Okay.
That's why when she brought that up, it reminded me.
Faith.
I'm only mad at her for this specific topic right now, not in general.
Okay.
It's interesting you value that in a person.
Okay. $5.
What? Good faith, I do. I really do.
No, I think
I'm not done with my money.
Soon.
$5 from Sarcastic
Hi.
Warlock to say there's.
Oh, she just. I thought that there was something that happened.
Okay, you can find Stardust. I got a link to her channel in my.
Move them back.
I use the restroom. You guys continue and
That's
be good.
politics,
I mean,
babe.
Yeah, that's the electorate, right?
Yeah.
The best way to determine whether or not a Republican is going to win the next election is if a Democrat just served 2 terms. The electorate moves back and forth.
Yeah, people vote reactionary based on how bad things are in the previous term, 100%. And the idea of, well, clearly this person is not going to vote based on any policy that I reach out to them for. I just have to be nice to them last, or they have to be happy about it last. Okay, so why are we listening to them? Like their opinions on it don't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's not about
That's
not caring about politics.
Soypill is pretty based. I don't think I really disagreed with anything that he said the entire time. You know what? I'm pretty tired. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rate out amazing meme. It better be amazing.
And then I helped China. So by reducing it.
We still don't know. We don't have the clarity on what you're going to do with these expiration of these pauses. July 9?
No, I thought I just said it. No, I thought I just said it. You ready?
You're going to send letters.
I'm going to send letters. That's the end of the trade deal. I could send one to Japan. Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff on your cars, So
they're still doing Japan's going to pay the tariff. You know what? Let them. I'm unironically becoming an accelerationist. I just think that things got to be really bad. I don't want to be an accelerationist, but like if this point hasn't turned every single person in the country against Trump, then we need Great Depression. We need conservatives to be confronted with the consequences of their actions. Like, bro, this shit's like I hate the way I'm talking. I do. Like it's blackpilling to me. But man, this is. And then like to be attacked from your own side for saying, hey, these people are demons for voting for this is just too much for me. Anyways, let's finish this.
Tariff on your cars, So we give Japan no cars. They won't take our cars, right? And then
he's just so stupid, dude. Okay, let's see here. All right, everyone, pile into the raid. We're going to raid into Bones. He's a good dude. We love Bones. All right, everyone should follow him immediately. I love you guys very much. I'll catch you guys later. If you're watching on YouTube, well, that's a you problem.